When you eventually leave the Red Arrows, which comes to us all, you spend the rest of your living days talking about the time that you were a Red Arrows pilot.
Being in the RAF is more than a job, it's a lifestyle. But you can still be your own self. Meet Rotimi. He's a flying officer in engineering and has an ordinary lifestyle alongside his extraordinary job.
My name is Rotimi. I'm a flying officer in the RAF. The military is just not what I thought it would have been initially. I thought it was a massive commitment, and if I join, then that's it. I don't have my life. But that's not true at all. It's not 24 hours of the day. You do get your own space, and you can be your own self. This is his own game. Knowing that I've got friends with the same sort of passion and ambition helps me. Just grinding with each other in difficult situations pulls us together. That's just the bond that you get in the RAF. People will go out their way to help you.
Solid effort, bro, solid effort.
There's a time for everything. I'm free, I get my weekends.
Man, like.
I know Stephen through primary school, and we've been friends ever since. Very loyal, he's just humble. Elton went to the same secondary school as me, the same college. He played at the same basketball club. Known him for quite a while. He's a good friend.
Comfortable?
You're gonna always run into hurdles and barriers. You can't run away from it because sometimes that can be the only gate through. I've been through situations where I've been way out my depth, but I figured that I could just step up and get past those barriers. Remember, like, trainers used to hang on these.
How did they get those down? Yeah.
I just love traveling. I'd hope to get deployed abroad. When you travel, it breaks prejudices, because then you understand about other people's culture and you start to realize what they're about. About 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, coming up to 4 years. Yeah, I've pretty much seen him more than I thought I would. Whenever he has a free weekend, I go up to see him or he drives down to see me. He's always been ambitious, but I guess the RAF has made him more ambitious.
I just find planes fascinating, the way they're designed. There's no other job where we can be exposed to this sort of technology. It makes me feel proud. We love our basketball. I'm in the senior men's team. I've still got a few seasons left. I'm now on my second phase of training in aero systems engineering.
Why don't we get out of here?
Confidence, belief, resilience. The RAF has really expanded that for me. It's just made me feel like I can do things that I never thought I could.
Hey, ready?
You can join the RAF in many different ways, from speaking to a recruiter at an Armed Forces career office to going on our website. Or you might like the idea of applying for an RAF apprenticeship, a great way for you to learn new skills whilst being paid and get your foot in the door. Let's hear from our personnel about the qualifications you need, the apprenticeship opportunities available, and what other benefits are involved.
The Royal Air Force does offer apprenticeships for those individuals who are leaving full-time education at the age of 16. It does depend on what role that you take on as to what qualifications the apprenticeship offers.
When you join up or apply for an apprenticeship, you have the opportunity to undertake an MVQ, a level 3 qualification. That was a stepping stone really for me to then progress on to complete a degree.
The RAF offers apprenticeships with pretty much every ground role that you can apply for. As a logistics supplier, I did a MVQ level 2 in supply chain warehousing operative, and I also went on to do a level 3 as well.
When you join the Air Force as an avionics technician, it is a level 3 apprenticeship in aeronautical engineering. Once you have finished your technician course at Cosford, you then go on to do your on-the-job training, where you have to do your trainability test to get signed off, and then that will give you your full level 3 qualification.
So previously, when I went through training, it was a level 2 aviation operations on the ground apprenticeship, but now they've just brought in a level 3 firefighter operations apprenticeship, which is now civilian recognised as well.
So most of the job roles we have in the RAF as a non-commissioned role, so ground trade, is an apprenticeship training role. With this, you'll complete your 10 weeks basic training at RAF Holton, and then you continue on to your phase 2, your technical training. And while you're there, you'll get a level 2 or level 3 MBQ in your chosen subject.
For anyone wanting to join the RAF, there are certain requirements that you would have to meet, whether this is fitness, GCSE results, but all this could be found if you speak to your career office or if you go on the Royal Air Force website.
Some roles in the RAF, you could be offered sponsorship or bursaries to university. These are mainly based around your engineering and technical roles and the medical roles in the RAF. With these, you have to be going to a university that's attached to a university air squadron. It's a bit like air cadets, but a bit more advanced. You'll be able to hone your more personal qualities and have a better understanding of what life as an officer in the RAF could be in the future.
I think the best thing about doing my apprenticeship with the Royal Air Force was getting paid whilst completing it. There was also many benefits like free dental care, on-station medical care, and also living on camp for reduced rates.
My top tips for anyone going through recruitment is take the advice of the recruiter. So if we send you a link of a video to watch it. Don't just put it on in the background while this morning's playing. If we give you paperwork to fill it in and send it back in good time. So listen to your recruiter. They are there to guide you. They're there to do their job, and they will help you through the process as much as they can.
Join the Royal Air Force and you'll get much more than just a job. You'll have opportunities that no other employer can hope to match. From flying in the back of a Chinook helicopter to skiing overseas or serving food for the Queen, life in the RAF is a unique experience. The Royal Air Force provides countless unique opportunities for young people, allowing you to have the perfect work-life balance. Beyond work, you'll have the opportunity to travel the world. Participate in a variety of sport or get support to further your education. No 2 days will be the same. The RAF is what you make it.
Working in such a big organisation is great because you see all these different trades and people coming together, working towards the same goal. And at the same time, the Air Force is actually quite small, so you'll see someone in basic training and become friends with them. And then 3 years later, you'll meet them on a tiny island in the Atlantic. And then 3 years later, you'll see them in a mess. And it's a big organisation. It is a tight-knit family.
Everyone says camaraderie is great in the Air Force, and it genuinely is. You enter and you think, oh, maybe not so much. Maybe everyone just gets on with their job. But the friends I've made since joining up are incredible. You don't speak for years, then you meet each other in a bar somewhere, and it's like you've never left.
For me, the best thing in the Royal Air Force is to travel, and the people you meet a right cross-section of people with fascinating stories. You will travel in the Royal Air Force. It's what we do, we fly.
Countries I've been to range from the north of Norway, up in the Arctic Circle, all the way down to Central America, across to most of Europe, Africa. So I've seen quite a lot of the continents and a lot of the countries.
One of the perks is that you can undertake adventurous training, which doesn't count as your annual leave, so you are on duty while you're doing it. I've had the opportunity while I've been into kayak in Sweden, as well as climbing in Italy and skiing in France. So there are lots of opportunities available to everybody.
So job security in the military is very good. You are offered when you first join the Air Force a 12-year engagement, which means the Air Force is saying to you, you have a job for 12 years. I don't think any other company other than the military can guarantee a job.
To anyone that's considering joining the RAF, I could not recommend it highly enough. It's lived up to my expectations. The opportunities out there are endless, and that might sound like a cliche, but they really are. There's opportunities to do anything that you want to do. You will require a proactive approach. Not all of the opportunities will come to you. You will have to go and find them, work for them, but they are out there.
I was really lucky in that I got to fly in the back of a Typhoon aircraft, which is one of the aircraft that my team of technicians had been working on. Just to be in a Typhoon, to be airborne, to be seeing what that aircraft can do and the technology that goes into it, it was pretty exciting.
But get out there, just find out what's out there, because it won't come to you. And the more you find out, the more exciting your career will be.
Among the countless opportunities to travel and compete in sports, there's one team in the RAF you might not have heard about. They use skill and reaction time in Rocket League and put their teamwork to the test in Fortnite. Meet the RAF esports team. Join them and you could be playing whilst on duty, taking part in gaming events across the globe. And if you've got the skills to be a gamer, you're probably closer to an engineer than you think.
The advantages of gaming in the RAF: reaction times,
doing your tactics,
teamwork,
computer technical expertise as well. A lot of our trades in the RAF work with computers.
Everyone coming in now has already got the skill sets for the stuff that we use, the experience and the more knowledge really of the now technology.
Good for your coordination, it kind of keeps you going. A lot of situational awareness, especially in what I play. There's a lot of things going on, so you need to know when to do what you need to do.
Quite surprising, just from playing games such as Overwatch, how stressful a situation that can be where you're leading a team of 6, and communication is a key vital part of that. Handling high stress situations and just developing leadership from there.
It's all the same in the Air Force, so you've got your screens, you've got your buttons in front of you, your radar, it's pretty much all similar skills you're using.
I'd say the thing I enjoy the most about my role is the feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself, having an identity and being part of a large family. It's an extremely rewarding walk of life to be part of.
I would say the Air Force has given me a much more exciting life than I might have had I not joined up.
So to sum up my career in 3 words would be to call it challenging.
Excitement, the excitement of going to all these different places.
It's been exciting and it's been hugely rewarding.
Enjoyment. I've had a fantastic time. The people you meet from different countries, different backgrounds, has been second to none.
Motivational and inspirational.
And money. It's quite a well-paid job.
As you can see, there is so much more to the RAF than you might have realised. And engineering in the RAF is more than a career. It's a lifestyle. Not only will you be part of the team that keeps the RAF flying, but you will make unforgettable memories along the way. Engineers make it happen, and the RAF is what you make of it. Search RAF recruitment to find your force.
Hey, welcome back to WorldSkills UK Live online Spotlight Talks with BAE Systems. Thanks to the RAF. That looked amazing. I had no idea that actually playing Fortnite is so good for me. Who knew? Now, guys, we've been getting some shout-outs. This is good stuff. Big shout-out to the Hillcrest Girls' School for watching. You've been in touch on the web chat. Hello to you. There's 30 Year 9s at Aldercar High School. Hello to all of you. And we've had some tweets in, thanks to Careers Wayland. We've got a tweet from those guys. Group of Year 10s. Absolutely love the talk from the Royal Navy. It was a good talk. And we've had our first picture. This is from Eden High School. Year 10 students taking part in Spotlight Talks Live. Good stuff. All right, let's get more pictures in, guys. More of you in the shot, more of you on camera. Let's see your faces. Let's have a good time. All right. Next up, we are going to be joined by one of our partners, BAE Systems. But before we get some of them on screen to talk to them directly, here's a short video which just outlines exactly who BAE Systems are and what it is they do.
over 100 years, BAE Systems has been at the cutting edge of aerospace design, manufacturing and production. That means that for over 100 years, we've been agile and adaptable, always thinking outside the box, overcoming anything that's thrown at us. And in the process, we've built a history of knowledge we're truly proud of. That is part of our DNA. DNA that has been passed down from generation to generation and has gone global. That's why we've invested £15.6 million in our Academy for Skills and Knowledge. Based in Samlesbury, this world-class innovative centre will empower outstanding learning and autonomous thinking, because investment in our people is crucial. The world is constantly changing, and the changes we see drive us to outdo what we've done before, to stay 2 steps ahead, time and time again. But there is always room for improvement, because lifelong learning is also part of our DNA and the key to our success. The Samlesbury Centre will immerse learners in real-time virtual environments and provide the technology and resources that we truly need to take us into the future. It will enable us to share our expertise and to shatter the boundaries of our imagination beyond anything we've ever thought possible, for generations to come, because the best is yet to come.
Amazing stuff. Right, now it is a privilege to welcome into the studio via the miracles of live satellite link-ups, the amazingly talented Billy Sakira. Now, Billy completed an electronics apprenticeship in September and was named one of the Women's Engineering Society's top 50 female engineers in 2019. How you doing, Billy?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you for that introduction.
Oh, that's absolutely... Don't thank me. You did all the hard work. Welcome along. First things first, Billy, could you just tell us a little bit about what it was that made you choose to undertake an apprenticeship in the first place?
I went to school and did my GCSEs and A-levels, and I think I'd always sort of planned to go to university. That was kind of what my school had told me to do, until I attended the Engineering Taster Week, which is a work experience week that the BAE Systems run at various sites across the country. So I did that in year 12 as I sat my AS level exams, and that's when I first heard about apprenticeships. I was really excited about the idea of learning while you earn, as they say. So as you complete your apprenticeship qualifications, and for me that was a level 3 NVQ and an HNC in electrical and electronic engineering, and you get paid at the same time, and I thought, I like the sound of that.
It does, it sounds ideal. But then what was it that made you actually choose BAE Systems as the place to do your apprenticeship?
I've heard of BAE Systems for a while. I don't live too far from our site in Kent, so I'd always been interested in what they do. But as I realised I was sort of more interested in engineering, I did some more research. And again, when I attended the Engineering Taster Week, I got the chance to speak to a lot of the staff on site who are really leaders in their field. And not only I saw some of the products we design and manufacture firsthand, I thought that was really exciting. And obviously we're an international company as well, so there's lots of opportunity to travel, which I think is really exciting as well.
That's an amazing perk of any job, definitely. Can you just take us through what a normal day looks like when you're doing your apprenticeship? What do you get up to?
So I rolled off the apprenticeship scheme back at the end of August, beginning of September, but no day is the same during the apprenticeship scheme. But your first year, at least in my case, was spent entirely at our training provider, where we sort of learned the basic theoretical and practical skills needed to then come on site in our second year, which we then spent rotating around various different departments on site. I did an engineering apprenticeship, so the departments that I spent time in were engineering departments. And then at the end of that second year, I applied to my department of choice and was lucky to be accepted, where I then spent my third year and hopefully a long length of my career. So for me, that was hardware engineering.
That's great. The variation involved is something that people talk about a lot with apprenticeships. Now, congratulations again on being named one of the top 50 women engineers in last year. How much of a role did your apprenticeship play in you kind of achieving that level of excellence?
Oh, a massive part. Yeah, really a huge part. I think the apprenticeship has essentially shaped me to be who I am, I guess, in my career today. I think aside from learning the curricular aspect of the apprenticeship, which of course is really important and interesting, there's a lot of extracurricular opportunities. And I'm really passionate now, having worked in engineering for a couple of years, in encouraging others to join the field, particularly young girls. But I've had the opportunity to attend schools and different events such as today, which has really helped me build on my personal and communication skills as well, which I think are really valuable.
Must be great for the confidence
as
too.
Being able to meet, as well as just meeting so many amazing people.
Yeah. Now that you've finished the apprenticeship, how have you found the transition from apprenticeship into work? Has it been smooth?
Oh yeah, it's been really, really easy. As I said, sort of we spent our third year of our apprenticeship in our department of choice, which is where we felt like we'd like to continue our career. So during that third year, we're sort of learning the job and networking, which are all aspects of my day-to-day job now. So it meant that as I rolled off my apprenticeship and into my permanent role, it was a really seamless transition.
So would you recommend BAE Systems to anybody watching at home as a great place to start in terms of their apprenticeships?
Completely, yeah. There are so many apprenticeship opportunities. I think the structure and the support has really been second to none. I can't fault it, as well as I mentioned before, the opportunities for the extracurricular side of things, which I think are really invaluable as well for you as a person as well, for building those sort of the soft skills, I think they call them.
Yeah, they do.
Communication and the personal skills.
Good technical term. A lot of people watching at home will be kind of at the start of their career or setting out, trying to work out what it is that they want to do. And I remember, from personal experience, that is just such a daunting time. What advice would you give to people who are at that stage in their career journey?
Ooh. Research. I think speak to as many people as possible, and do work experience where possible as well. Although I'm not sure how successfully you can do that these days, but because of Corona. But
it'll be over soon.
But yeah, work experience. I think. I think it'll more often than not tell you what you don't want to do. But I think obviously that's valuable in itself, as it helps you to narrow down your search. And I know I'm biased towards engineering at BAE Systems, but the various aspects of it, I really do think mean there is something for anyone. But I guess the only way to find that out is to give it a go.
Yeah, but you're right, research. And that's the whole point of today. It's giving people the information that they need. This counts as invaluable research. Well, listen, thank you so much for talking to us. One final question, and you're going to stick around because there might be some questions from the audience. Everybody's been doing a lot of Zoom calls at the moment, and you're all lots of video calls happening all the time with work. Have you carefully curated the books that are behind you to make you seem really intelligent? Because that's what I do.
I haven't curated it, but I did. You choose to use that as my background.
Yeah, there we go. Well, it works. You look incredibly clever. All right, thank you very, very much for talking to us, Billy. That's great. We're going to be joined now by the head of apprenticeships and skills for BAE Systems. We've got on the line Mark Donnelly. Have we got Mark? Hello, Mark. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, Will.
Hi, mate. I can
indeed. Can you hear me okay?
I can indeed. We were just talking to Billy, and she was saying that she stands in front of books to make herself seem well read. You're in front of a load of guitars. That's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah. It's a guilty pleasure, Will, from many years ago. So they're collecting on the wall at the moment, yeah.
Good. Well, I hope you can actually get time to play them. So, Mark, It's great that we've got this opportunity to speak to you. Can you just tell us why BAE Systems is supporting an event like this one?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Will. Well, good morning to everyone watching, and it's for us, it's a pleasure really to be here today, and along with Billy, one of our graduated apprentices, to present across to the because that we've had would have had a lot of interactions with people, adults, teachers, and everyone finding out about opportunities. Can't do that physically, but we can do it virtually. And for us as WorldSkills industry partner sponsors, BAE Systems, we are very much committed to helping during this time and sharing our insights really. And from our own perspective, just for colleagues' awareness and people watching, the video was fantastic. There highlights one of our academies. We actually have academies across the UK. So from Scotland to Portsmouth to Barrow-in-Furness, across to Brough, so north, south, east, west. And all different types of activities. We build and maintain the fast jet aircraft for the Royal Air Force, and I saw the input before from the RAF, and also we build and maintain naval ships for the Royal Navy. Also the submarines we build for the Ministry of Defence. We also help to defend cyber attack as well. From sort of activities there. So across land, air, sea, and cyber, we've got some fantastic opportunities for people to get involved in. So it's great that we can share insights today, Will, with everybody.
Well, it's great as well that you have those sites all over the country, because we've got people watching at home from all over the country. It's quite daunting. The scale of the company, BAE Systems, is quite daunting, but there must be a lot of variety in terms of the apprenticeships you offer. I mean, it's not just for engineers, right? Do you have other types of apprenticeships?
Yeah, it's a great question. You're quite right. It's, in the UK alone, we've got 34,000 staff, and we have 2,000 apprentices in the UK. And of that, over 90% of those are aged 16 to 24. And they all have apprenticeships in a whole variety of things. You're quite right, not just engineering, it's IT, it's finance, software, project management, you name it. There's 50 different types of apprenticeship that we do at all different types of levels. So young people watching, you can join from 16, 17 years old onto an apprenticeship with us. You can join from 18, 17, 18 above. And as adults too, people can, if they've done something different in their career, they can join on an apprenticeship program with us too. So lots of opportunity and a great opportunity to work on some of the most, complex, fantastic, advanced new technologies on the planet, really, in terms of the likes of TLIS, the new stealth General Air Force, and also which is the new generation of submarine too.
Yeah, really exciting stuff. I mean, you guys have won awards for your apprenticeship schemes, which is impressive. What is it that you think sets you apart from potentially from some of the other apprenticeship schemes? I mean, what is it that you did to become an award winner?
Well, it's very timely. We're delighted to have received the Macro Employer of the Year award last night at the National Apprenticeship Awards. That's tested the trade body who's connected with BAE Systems, supporting that. I think probably for the real sort of point of difference and the attraction is that our technology, is a real key driver that helps set us aside in terms of what we can do and what we can have our apprentices working on. And also as well, in terms of award winning, this has been a really challenging year for everybody. We have maintained 2,000 apprentices in learning during this time. Nobody was furloughed. We also have onboarded nearly 800 apprentices as well. So we had to think really fast, fleet of foot, to actually do some virtual recruitment and support the onboarding of brand new apprentices. And in terms of our next steps, we're actually going to recruit a record number of apprentices next year as well. just over 800 apprentices. So as you can see, we're just moving forward, Will, all the time, and we're trying to, even with challenges, we push ahead. So I think it's that helps us to be the point of difference. We also deliver our own program, so we are the custodians of that. We care about it, and we also partner with high quality providers, universities, colleges, where appropriate.
So you're taking on loads and loads of new apprentices, even now. Amazing. What is it that you're looking for in those apprentices? What are the skill sets that you want people to bring to you?
I think, primarily you've got some core things, haven't you? The likes of sort of English and maths. Communication skills are absolutely important. Team working. Also, behaviours. We really value our behaviours at BAE Systems, and so to have the young people come to our organisation, we need to have the right mindset, and we can support people with. We can teach people the knowledge and the skills. We can do that. We can help people grow and move forward. But having that to learn, having the inquisitive nature and the sort of innovation and creative thought is really helpful. Also, problem skills as well. Will the idea of being able to analyse things and break things down and to look at a way to solve something in a really clear way is very important for us. We'll look after people. We'll give all the pastoral care and the wraparound of our apprenticeship population has a specific learning need, and we cater and embrace and support that. So welcome people from all different types of backgrounds and with different characteristics. It's really helpful for us as a company.
Great. There's a few problems on the line, but we're going to stay with you. There's a slight delay, but we can still hear you. Now, finally, if there are young people out there who are interested in going to BAE Systems for apprentices, how can they find out more, and where can they find out more? I think we've got Mark still. We've got an image, but can we hear him?
The website, so that's www.basystems.com/apprentices.
Okay, we're going to try and bring Mark back. We got most of that web address there. But we've also had some audience questions that we're going to try and pose to Mark if we get him back on the line. I mean, loads of amazing stuff that Mark has already said. So hopefully some of those questions might have been answered already by what he was saying. Loads of variety in the kinds of roles that BAE Systems offer, and lots of opportunities out there for guys watching, people at home and in classrooms. I think we've got Mark back. Have we got Mark? He's coming in. Mark was talking about problem solving being a key skill that apprentices need, and that's what we've got people out the back solving problems right now. Mark, you can hear us?
I can indeed. Thanks, Will.
Great. No worries. No worries. So could you just say one more time how people can find out more about the apprenticeship schemes with BAE Systems?
Definitely. So visit the website www.basystems.com/apprentices. And on there, all of our vacancies you can see and check out. We've also got apprentice videos as well, Will. So there's opportunity for people to do the research that Billy was mentioning.
Okay, great. Well, look, we've had some audience questions already. Quite a technical one for you, Mark. What programming languages are used in your technical apprenticeships?
Yeah, so different types of programming languages are, depending on what we're working on. So when you look on the website, there will be details against the standards that we do. A good example to look at is the Aerospace Software Development Engineer, and that shows you the types of things that we work on. Because again, some of the things we work on are quite specialist, so it's helpful to have just a basic fundamental understanding of software packages, but we'll teach you the specifics.
Fantastic. What qualifications do you need beforehand? What qualifications do apprentices need to bring to you?
I think mainly for the engineering roles, we absolutely require good level maths, English. Also, some science background is helpful too. And but of course, we're moving into an age where more and more the technology is advancing, and so things like arts and humanities, art and history, all sorts of things where you have to have a creative viewpoint on things, they're also great too. So in the main, it's good to have that maths and science background, but also it's important to embrace diversity of thought as well.
That's really good. That's really encouraging to hear. How many apprentices do you take on every year?
It's typically now it's sort of around the around the 800 mark. This last year's just been at just under 800. Next year's going to be 800. And if you look at maybe 5-10 years ago, it was probably in the region of 300 to 500. So we are step changing, but we're responding to the needs of the business. So the business let us know how many people we need from an early careers perspective. We then put that into place and bring the right people and train them up for our workforce. And I should say as well that of all the people that complete, all the apprentices that complete, which is over 90%, all of those are offered a full-time role with us and have very productive careers.
That kind of security is invaluable at the moment. Mark, thank you so much for talking to us. Thanks for answering all those questions. If we didn't get a chance to answer any of your questions, but you put them in the chat, they will be answered over the course of the day. As I said at the start, we've got some amazing careers advisors on hand who can give you all the information you need. Thank you so much to Billy as well for talking to us. Really inspiring from her. Okay. We've got a little break now, just a minute or so, but we've got more from BAE Systems coming up tomorrow and on Saturday. So if you want to know more about other opportunities they've got, tune in again tomorrow and Saturday, and we'll be back in just a minute with more great content. See you in a sec.
Go get your future. T-Levels, the qualification designed with leading employers. Step into health and science, education and childcare, digital and IT, construction and design. Find your T-Level, the post-GCSE qualification that helps you take it to the next level. Start your T-Level at tlevels.gov.uk.
Welcome back, guys. Now, to anybody just joining us, we are WorldSkills UK. We're an independent charity in a partnership with education, employers and governments. And we are spending 3 days bringing you guys invaluable information and inspiration to help set you on a career path that is right for you. Now, you've been getting in touch already, which is great to see. The hashtag WSUK Live Online or over email, get in touch at worldskillsuk.org. Send in your pictures. We want to know where you're watching from, where in the country. We know that we've got a good spread of you out there, north, south, east and west. So let us know. Teachers, if you are watching with a classroom full of kids, take a picture, let us know that they're enjoying it, let us know that they're tuned in, and you could get the picture up here and being with a chance of winning a £100 Amazon voucher. There's also a survey to fill out in the general tab at the bottom of this screen. So do that, and you could also be entered into the draw to win £100 Amazon vouchers. Right, guys, we have got more exciting stuff coming up for you. It's been pretty good so far. I hope you can agree. Inspiring, interesting, and exciting. And I'm still reeling from the talk earlier where the Air Force said that playing Fortnite is actually like really good for your development, which my girlfriend is going to be furious about because I'll be playing it more. Okay, coming up next, we have got Fox Dog Studios, who are going to take us through a range of skills needed to build an online game. Here they are.
Hello, we are Fox Dog Studios. My name is Pete. This over here is my colleague Lloyd. We create and perform comedy shows online and in the real world live. Today we're going to be taking you through the creation of a brand new game for our website. We're going to be creating it within 24 hours. So as you can expect, this video will last 24 hours.
So this won't be live, but we will be live in the chat, able to answer any questions you have.
and defend any choices that we've made. We'll be going from start to finish. Design on the old whiteboard. And then we'll be going through to some programming. We're going to be making graphics, sound effects, theme tune, deploying it to the web and testing it. Now, this isn't any ordinary single-player game. This is a mass multiplayer game. Lloyd came up with a number yesterday. Lloyd said the game's going to support 1,000 concurrent players. Now, if Lloyd's done the maths right, that's 1 followed by 3 zeros. Do you want to put that in scientific form just to help out?
That's easier to read.
Le 3, French.
That's even easier.
The 3 shouldn't be a superscript.
Should it be superscript?
Not in this syntax.
What is this?
Yeah. When you got the E, it's like that. You're thinking of like times 10 to the 3. We're doing this in Sharpie. There's no going back. We just have to throw this whiteboard out at the end. Lloyd, do you want to talk us through the game that we're going to be building? What are we going to be designing today?
The aim of the game is to avoid the letters that are falling down from the top. Just 0. It's just the 0 letter. 0 is not a letter. I recognize that, but it's a character. It's called zeros. So the game is you have a bunch of zeros here. These zeros are moving down the screen. This is going to, players are here, so you are given a character as well, maybe you're A, and you move across the screen here to try and avoid the zeros as they fall down.
Can you go up and down?
No.
No.
You can move left and right to avoid the zeros, as indicated by these arrows.
Okay, and where will all the other players be?
Well, there'll be like a B here, there'll be like a C here, maybe there'll be a few rows, and then you're all moving along the track. So these move down, but it looks like you're moving along because you can't tell. Whoever avoids the zeros for the longest wins. So the person who dies last wins.
When the zeros start to fall, are we just going to come in straight with loads of zeros, or are we going to start with fewer zeros and increase the number of zeros and therefore the difficulty over time?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Yeah, so that's the difficulty curve. If we draw a graph, difficulty is this axis and time is this axis. The longer you play, as time increases here, difficulty increases here.
That's good to know. And even in the professional world, still label your axis.
Y equals mx plus c. I don't know what the m and the x are, but
we can do. This is what the difficulty starts at, and this is how much the difficulty increases over time. So that's literally what we're going to program to increase the difficulty.
It'll be the probability of 0 appearing is what the difficulty will appear as in the game. Probability will increase over time, which will be the difficulty as well, because there'll be more zeros to avoid.
So the way we're going to program this game, there will be a server running on the internet, which I'll represent here by a cloud, and then all the players will open up a web browser like that on their laptop.
Is that a B or a?
That's there's heat damage on the top of the laptop there.
Is that a grand piano?
They will, on their laptop or on their phone, they will connect to our website, and then we will give them a character, and then they will see the play field on their screen. And then as the game progresses, we will send player movement, we'll send back to the server, and then the server will say where the player now is and where all the other players are, so we can render that on the screen and how many lives they have.
Yeah, so it's all going to run on your web browser, so you're going to be able to actually play this game at the end or during, whenever we drop the URL, and you're going to be able to play with as many people who are watching and playing as well at the same time. And so you're all going to be able to play the game, and it will be on loop, so there'll be a new game as soon as the other ones finish, and hopefully we'll be able to support as many people playing as are watching, which could be 1e to the 3. You're going to see how games are made. At the moment, we're just doing the design where you have to agree with each other about what you want to do. Then we're going to look at creating the graphics, doing a little bit of the programming, how you make things work online, and the music.
So we're going to divide the work up between us. Lloyd's going to start off writing the front end, which means the bit that runs in the browser, the sort of graphics thing, and you're going to be using in-browser graphics engine called Babylon.
Browsers can now do 3D, so we're going to be using a 3D but drawing in 2D.
I'm going to start off with the server-side network code, which will manage the game and work out who's winning and who's losing. And then we'll marry the two together and deploy it online. And then once we've done that, I'll probably go in and do some sound effects.
And now I'll add some cool 3D graphics. Drop in any questions at any time and we'll try and answer them.
We'll be in the chat.
We'll be in the chat as Foxdog something.
As Fox, yeah. I'm going to take the design away now and Lloyd's going to start programming. So we're about an hour in now and I've just laid down what's called the boilerplate for the project. Doesn't do anything yet, but there's just some basic foundations there on which to build. I open up this file, it says here, and that could be any message. Like, let me just change it to hello, and we run that in the web browser. Wait for it. That's built the website. Let's open that in the browser. There, hello.
Where?
There, there's nothing actually on the website yet, but it has printed out the word hello.
So it's more like a secret.
It's an Easter egg. So my work here is done. Lloyd's going to take over and do the rest of the game.
On my one, actually, I've added it so that it actually says zeros online. Okay, so this is what we currently got. I've just put in just enough template to get the game started so that when you load it up, there's a button you can click, and this will allow us to actually play sound. That's what the sneaky thing is. So it says loading whilst their game actually loads in the background. You click play, and then we've just got a widescreen welcome to zeros. You're in the game. It doesn't do anything else at the moment, but we're definitely in it. Now we've got a very exciting update where I can move this zero left and right. I'm just clicking there, and it's moving. And we put in a linear interpolation, which means basically there's a smooth movement between the positions. This is probably about the 5% of the way through the project mark. So that's 4 hours in. Oh, we just put in the following zeros. They're not quite in the right place at the moment. But at least, if anything, this now lives up to the name that there are zeros, lots of zeros on the screen. And you can see they're increasing in density as time goes on. In fact, in the code, just for a little bit of fun, there is a line. The M is 1 over 100, the C is 0.2, the X is the row number. So as the row number goes up, it's multiplied by 1 over 100 plus the constant of 0.2. So there's always a probability of 1 starting at the beginning. And well, you can see this is probably a bit too high because now, only a minute or so in, we've now got a solid wall of zeros. So we'll be wanting the zeros to come out a little bit slower than that.
We've just connected the server to the website. Let's have a look at that. So I'm going to start the web server program, which is written in C++. Now, this is a bit of the web server program. This is just a little snippet. When a player on a web browser connects to the web server, this piece of code is run here, and we allocate them a player ID. So what we will see in the browser is that when I refresh this page, it connects and it's allocated player ID 1, because this is the first player who's connected to the web server since I've run it. And if I refresh the page, we'll get ID 2. And if I open another one, we'll get 3. I could go on. Now we've got a connection between the web server and the website. I'm now going to make it send something useful. E.g., the player will be able to press the buttons left and right, and I'll know on the server where they actually are.
So what we got at the moment is lots of letters with a little 3 down here. We've registered with the server. So where it's loaded from is this file here, which is very, very hard to see, but these are letters here. They're white on a checkered background, but they're white because that allows us to change the color quite easily in the code, because we can put a tint on them, and because they're white, the color will be applied. Because the way that maths works with white, if they were black, you couldn't apply the light to them, couldn't apply the color. So we've got these. This is in a grid, so I can fill up the rest of the grids with characters, and then different people, I choose to render this part of this image, and I can have them one texture. It's more efficient to have one texture on one material for all of these, so there's less rules to the graphics card, which makes it run faster. It allows us to have lots and lots of characters on one screen. Now we have enabled online play. Well, online on the same network. So when I click play here, see there's two people, because we have both the 5 and the 3 ready to play, and I move with the 3 there, and you can see I'm moving on both. So this is in two separate browsers. Being able to see what the other person's up to, flashes red when they get hit. So all we need to do now is start saying when the game started, so that they both start the game at the same time and they both are synced up. On the UI now, we've got some of the data that we're synchronizing. We've got in the top left the score of the player, which increments every time a row of zeros goes by. We've got the game ID, the GID, I just call it that for short, which shows the current ID of the game. So every time there's a new game, that will increase or change, so we know if we're in the current game or not, or we have to wait for the game to end and we can join in. Number of lives, 0, because they both managed to die. But if I refresh, well, I'm looking around, you can see that starts at 3, and as they hit zeros, it'll go down. Player game ID, which is 0, I'm not sure if that's right at the moment, but if that is equal to the current one, then we know that they're in this game. Otherwise, they need to wait for the next game. And the seed, which is the random seed that the server gives out, so we know how to generate the zeros. From here, all we need to do is start putting in game state to know whether the game started or not. And then we could play the game, maybe. We've got now is some information from the server about how long the game's been running for, which is the top left there, and also what state it's in. Using these bits of information, we're going to try and decide when to start the track, because at the moment we're just running the track right at the beginning. So we're going to see that when the game has started, we run the track. All the information is there.
So the server side code is complete, and I will give you a brief tour of that code. So this file, we use a thing called Google Protobuf to create the code that transports data from the server to the client and back again. This is the file here that describes those messages. Pretty simple. This is how the server sends the state of the game to the client. This is how the client sends information about what the player has done back to the server. Let's look at some of the key parts of the game engine on the server. So this is the code that updates the player. So when a player sends a message to the server saying, "I've lost a life, I've moved to a different column," this code is activated. First, we try and find that player based on their ID. Then we update their lives and we update their columns. If their lives have gone to 0, then we remember the point at which they died. Here's the part of the code that starts the game. First of all, we say, are there any players? If not, we don't start the game. Then we say, has there been at least one player for 10 seconds? So we stay in the lobby for 10 seconds before the game begins. Then we begin the game by setting each player's game ID to the current game ID and setting their lives back to 3. And now they're not dead, so we clear their dead at that time. This is how we progress a game, check whether a game has finished. We go through all of the players and check whether or not they have a life. If at least one player has a life, we're still in the game. If not, we set the game to finished and we remember the point, the time at which the game ended. Here's what we do once the game is finished. This is the scoreboard section. So we stay on the scoreboard for 10 seconds. No, this is wrong. This code here finds the winner, but it shouldn't be here. It should be here. So as soon as the game ends, yeah, good bug fix, people. It's time to record the music. It's going to need 2 bits. It's going to need like a main game bit and a lobby bit. The lobby bit should be a sort of a quiet, calmer version of the main game theme. And when the lobby ends and the main game starts, it's just kick in. I think it's going to be a sort of an electro piece with bass guitar, and that's because I have a bass guitar. So I've got a sort of a standard 4 to the floor electric drum beat. That's just to work over, just to get the feel in. Beefing that up with a filter and a compressor to make it sound like this. Then from there, and it's going to be something like this, I feel. Something like that. I've laid down the sort of initial demo loop, which sounds like this. And now it's time to sort of work out a collection of highlights that we can drop in and out of the track. Okay, then it's time to add sort of like a high-pitched pad that we can bring in, and that sounds like this.
We've got both screens showing the same game at the moment. They are synchronized so that if one person quits one world, then they'll be able to be synchronized to be able to show the other persons. We've got this arrow which shows which player you are as well, to help guide the player to see which one they are. When there's lots of players on the screen, it may be helpful. And we've also got the game state going on. There's a lot of debug information written up at the moment, but if I manage to lose, it says game over. If I try and join during the game over, it still says game over, although I did fall down a little bit there. And then we're back here, welcome to zeros. Tap left and right to move. We're in the lobby. Once this gets to 10,000, this is a lap, which is in milliseconds, we'll see the game's begun. And it's going around again. Just need to put in the crown. The crown show who won last time. Where's it gone?
Maybe he just hasn't redrawn. Yeah, it's gone. At some point during development, your laptop may stop charging. At that point, you need to take the back off and grab the soldering iron. Find yourself the broken bit on the charging socket and just touch the soldering iron to that and just reflow solder into the crack. Then, once you've done that, before you put it back together again, just give it a quick test.
And how often do you do this?
At the moment, I do this about once or twice a week. So now,
sorry, is that just normal for anyone going into interest in game development? Is that what they can expect?
Yeah. It's normal in game development that you should have to do this, at least this. I actually do it less frequently than most developers. So let's do a test now. So we should see when I do this. Oh, I actually saw a little spark. So I haven't quite done it right, but you can see it is charging now.
Oh, I see that. We're looking at that light there.
It is charging there.
That's good.
Yeah, that means it's charging.
And that's what game developers have. They have those LEDs on.
Yeah. Better get back to work, hadn't I? At some point during the development of your game, your audio workshop might go completely grey like this. It's still playing audio, but it has gone completely grey. So what we have to do is force kill it and see how much work we lose. Okay, recover from crash. Yeah, that's quite a ways back. I'll check in later.
We now added one more feature, which is it'll show the crown of the winner. So you'll be able to track who's won the game. And this lets you know who you need to beat. I've hidden all the debug information. We're behind the G key. If you go on, you can press G. You can see some numbers that aren't really going to make much sense. But you can see your own player ID and the winner's player ID as well. And that's toggleable on and off, which is useful for a developer. So I can just quickly take a look if there's a bug. I might be able to find out more about the bug by looking at some of the values of the variables inside my program.
It's about an hour later. I've just taken those drum beats and just dropped bits out of them to create different variations, and I've just put a filter over bits of the bass line, so this is going to be in it loop.
I added a feature that every great game needs, screen shake. When you hit a 0, I'm going to shake the screen a little bit. Which is actually using the power of the sine curve. Who'd have thought it? Sine, maths, coming into play. So the camera rotates based on a sine curve.
Okay, so the music is in the game and I created a simple intro loop that's just based on the music that's going to play at the start and at the end of the game. That sounds like this. And then we've got code here that when we transition to the game, it mixes from one to the other, and when we transition from the game, it mixes it back the other way. So let's look at that in action. We fade in the track, and then the new game is going to start in 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we mix back to the intro loop. Okay, we're down to the music. It's time for sound effects. I've added the crash sound effect. I've got to make some sound effects for going left and right. I think it's going to be these two notes. I'm going to try it out, so I'm just going to pretend that when I press the keyboard, this sound effect is playing by playing it at the same time.
Okay, so this is the game. We've uploaded it now to zeros.fds.im. We're just testing it out at the moment. I'm the 6, Pete's on the 4. Oh, snap. Oh! You can fit diagonally through them. If you want to tip, that's it. There's me done. Oh! I tagged the hit.
It's clocked in about 24 hours in total.
2 12-hour sessions.
2 12-hour sessions. And you know what? I feel great. I think if you're going to be a game developer, the best way to do it is just to do just one long chunk.
Check it out, yeah. What y'all wanna do? Don't you know we always coming through? Me and my crew, let me hear you say fire up! Say fire!
Thousands of government-funded apprenticeships are available right now. Fire up your career at apprenticeships.gov.uk.
Welcome back to WorldSkills UK Live Spotlight Talks with BAE Systems. Thank you very much to Foxdog Studios. That was amazing. Great game. Also, banging tune. Good work on the production there. If you can download that separately, guys, or just send me that. I'll play that out in the clubs. Okay. Now, guys, we've been getting lots of shout-outs. Yes, we have been getting lots of interaction from you guys. I've got some. Oh, we've got some on the tweets. This is brilliant. Okay, so Forest winners' careers. The Year 10 Computer Science class. They're enjoying watching the Foxdog live stream. Glad to hear it. And remember, the guys from Foxdog are on the web chat answering questions. So if you've got any questions for them, they'll be on for a while. So keep them coming in. Lutterworth High careers. Got a couple of keen gamers tuned in, which is great, learning everything they need to know about making a massive multiplayer online game from Foxdog Studios. And we've got official Wiseman Coventry. They've sent us an Instagram. Oh yeah, of course. Use the hashtag. It works on Instagram. That's them enjoying the stream. I've also got some shout outs here. Less high-tech, it's just on a piece of paper. But Loretto Grammar School in Altrincham, 50 Year 9 students tuned in. Hello to all of you. Miss Johnson is watching with the Year 9s. Hi, Miss Johnson. Good to have you with us. Burnt Mill Academy in Essex. Loving the guitars from the BAE Systems. I don't think he actually... Earlier we had a Mark from BAE Systems on. And we had him on the live chat. I don't know if he actually plays them. I mean, if I had some guitars lying around, I'd hang them up behind as well. They make me look very cool, but I couldn't play them. We've got 20 Year 11s from Heron Hall Academy, and we've got Rotherham College, Erdington Academy, Birkenhead College and Swanshurst School are all watching and enjoying Foxdog. It was funny. They are funny, those Foxdog guys. It just goes to show you can be technical and hilarious. Okay, now guys, today's sessions are all about engineering and technology. And it is really, really important now more than ever that we get more and more people working in engineering, more people with the right training, the right skills. That's where these amazing apprentices come in. I've got some stats for you about how important engineering is in the UK. 19% of all UK employees work in the engineering sector already, and 27% of all registered companies in the UK fall within the engineering sector. But those numbers are growing rapidly year on year. And I think this year that's thrown up so many extraordinary challenges for all of us is just showing more and more the importance of engineering and technology in keeping the wheels turning, keeping the world moving, and keeping us all connected. Okay, we've now got some more inspiring stuff on the way for you, this time from the Army, okay? We're going to be meeting some world-famous Royal Engineers, finding out how they achieve excellence in everything they do, and generally finding out what is great about engineering roles within the Army. Here they are.
My name is Lance Corporal David Royce Dexter. I'm an MC driver. The main day-to-day roles is driving the vehicles, carrying out details around camp, basic maintenance, so servicing, parts repairs that most people can do at home in your garage, you know, with a few screwdrivers. So the main one's the Land Rover. Manus V is a support vehicle, so that can carry stores, personnel, ADR, fuel, multiple variants of SV out there to drive and operate. And as you go on through your career, you start advancing and becoming a B2, B1. You go on to the tracker, crane, the MLET, which is a low-loading vehicle, and the Able BVs. The Able's an automotive bridge lodging equipment, so it's 3-vehicle setup, and it can bridge a gap of up to 32 metres. It can be put out in around 2 hours and having up to 90 tonnes worth of heavy armour going over it.
I'm Corporal Partridge. My job role is I'm a signaller, C3S operator. Engineer signallers, we understand the engineer trade. So we provide communications around the battlefield for engineer-specific tasks. So we've got 2 main radios. We've got a VHF, which tends to be sort of shorter communications. We've then got HF comms, which are going to be for long-range integration. And there's also other things like satellite communications, which you can use in more specialist roles.
My name's Sapper Montgomery and I'm a Royal Engineers electrician. We provide the ability for the Army to live in the field of operations, so if we get somewhere and we are going to be staying for an extended period of time, buildings will be going up and people need power, they need light to see, move around. It does take a bit of brain power, so it's quite challenging, but you get a City and Guilds electrician qualification, which does apply back in Civvy Street, enables you to work anywhere.
My name is Corporal Chidi, and my job role is a fitter. The Army's got a lot of mechanical equipment, as you can imagine. The fitters, we specialise in the C vehicles, so the dozer, the excavator, the grader, which levels the road off, and the 4CXs, so like your diggers. Our role basically is to maintain those in the field army and ensuring that they operate to their best performance. The knowledge comes from the experience, I suppose, more than anything else. As a Class 2, I would have come through and done my basic fitter general course, and I've gone on to become a Class 1 fitter. So you go through all sorts of circuit diagrams, we'll go through how pressure works and different things like that. It's one of those jobs where you get the sense of satisfaction from your input. For instance, something breaks down, everything stops. You're then the guy that comes and solves the problem. So that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because it's such a key job and it does make a difference.
I'm Lance Corporal Yap. I'm a heating and plumbing engineer. We cover all sorts of subjects like central heating, the plumbing, all the pipe work and guttering. When you're out in the field, all the plumbing there can be maintained by us and installed by us. You can do a full install of all the heating and plumbing, fit boilers, central heating system. I'm learning now to do all the gas stuff. Been out to Kenya and built a full tented camp and did all the plumbing for that, all the showers and toilets and things. It's good for morale when you've got, you know, warm showers and toilets and things which you wouldn't have normally without us. So here we get a lot of qualifications that aren't just relevant in the military life, you can take them to Civvy Street as well. Got an MVQ when I finished training, and people pay a lot of money for the civilian qualifications that we get here for free.
I'm a Sapper Haps, I'm the design draftsman. We get a detailed drawing from our designers, it comes to us, we interpret it as draftsmen. Normal tradesmen, if they look at the drawing, it might be quite difficult to understand, so we take it apart and make it a lot more simple. If they find something wrong with what we give them, then they just give us a call, we come down, and then we talk about a solution. They'll usually come up with a solution themselves to do, and we just either interpret that into the drawings, or we'll come up with a solution to their problem. It's also good to have the basic knowledge of all the different trades, so that if a problem does occur, you can come up with something that's within their skill set to do. You've got to be able to think on your feet. Often you'll come up with an idea, you'll get all the drawings and the plans done, everything in place. And when you actually get on the ground, it's got to change completely, and you've got to start all over again, be able to do it on the fly and do it quickly. The main technology and software that we use is AutoCAD Inventor. It's a fantastic program, you can design anything you want. We also use a program called Revit, which allows you take the building and you give each of the items sort of properties, so that if you put a wall in the wrong place, it'll tell you it's in the wrong place and it won't work. It sort of evolved from using the old drawing boards and ink and paper. We still get a bit of that when it comes up, first design sketched out in paper, and then we interpret those into full detailed plans.
I'm Lance Corporal Pape Jones, and I serve as a draftsman, electrical and mechanical in the Royal Engineers. Our team is primarily bulk fuel installations, so it's all to do with pipe work to deliver fuel on the ground. Well, you need A star to C across the board in English, Maths and Science to get you into the design trade, and then when you go into your first part of the training, you do a City and Guilds in AutoCAD, which is the software that we use. It's rewarding knowing that you've created some sort of product and that product is being used to help other people do their job.
I'm Sapper Zafir, and my job in the Army is a construction material technician. We're the people making sure that the ground is strong enough to support any structure on top of it. We got the mature drill rig. So the mature drill rig can go in the ground up to maybe 20 meters, drill down into the ground. Whenever the strata change, get the sample out and then bring it back to the lab and just check what type of soil it is, making sure that the ground is strong enough to support the structure for the long terms. I wanted to become a construction material technician to get more experience into construction related subjects. The Army will teach you everything you need.
My name is Sapper Mark Jarrett, and I'm a surveyor. The surveyors will go out first and collect information, so what services are there, make sure everything goes in the right place, and then when the designs are drawn up, we'll then set it out, and during the construction we will make sure that goes correctly to plan. The main equipment we use, we start off with the very basics, so we learn to take detail from a chain, and then we move on to the global positioning system, and we've got a digital level which would pretty much do your leveling for you. But then also we've got the CAD systems to do all our drawings on as well.
My name's Sapper Livingstone. I'm a bricklayer concreter. We're one of the first ones that come in, so the plant operators will go in, they'll do all the groundwork, and then we go in to do the outside main first fix of the building, and then the other trades come in afterwards and finish it off.
You get two trades, so you become a combat engineer, and then you get a trade as well, so me being a bricklayer and concreter. The varies of different things that you do is just amazing. One week you're blowing something up, the next week you can be building a bridge, and then weeks after that you can be in Kenya building an armoury or a school or something like that.
I've done a fair few exercises across the country. I also, last summer, did a month in Albania doing combat engineering tasks.
I've been to Canada twice, I've been to Kenya, I've been to Jordan and Oman as well. I got a defence engineering diploma, which now means when I finish this course I can go on and do an NVQ in bricklaying and concreting. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy what I do and I would recommend it to anyone.
My name is Sapa Thomas. I'm a fabricator in the engineers. When you first come here, you learn the basics of welding and then you progress up to different welds. And then after you finish that, you go to your unit and then you learn the more advanced welding. So I've been doing MMA welding, I've been doing OA welding, which is gas welding, and pattern development, which is turning square things into round. There's a lot of stuff, everything needs repairing. There's repairing vehicles, scaffolding pipes. There's a lot of stuff out there which I could obviously repair and become a better welder. What appealed to me was I can get something out of this when I leave the army. It's a good qualification to have. There's different paths you can go down into the welding side of things. There's underwater, it's obviously on the rigs. It's quite a dying trade in the way of, a lot of people that do it, and I've got the opportunity to do it now as a job, and the army pay me for it.
I'm Sapper Alex Baker, I'm a carpenter and joiner. When we go out to different countries, we'll be doing woodworking, so partitions, windows, doors, skirting boards, stairs, roofing, flooring, really quite a lot of skills to be fair. And also demolitions of that as part of an engineer, so demolish old buildings, then restore the old bits of wood. I'm doing stairs at the minute, so learning the terminology and how to mark it out myself. Thoroughly enjoyed learning different skills and then knowing that you'll be able to do it in civilian life as well. Got a trade, so when I do come out, I've got something to fall back on.
I'm Sapper Joe Holland, and my trade is a building and structural finisher. So we do all the way from construction of a room. So here I have behind me metal lining, dry lining, which is plasterboarding. We do tiling. We're taught to paint various different surfaces and all the way to flooring. The thing that attracted me to the trade is the fact that it's so varied. We are the last trade that goes in. The surveyors would start, measure up, bricklayers, and then we'd come in later on. We look at the plans. After we've got the plans and the measurements, we'll set out the distances for where the beams are going to be going, and eventually it will be tape and jointed, plasterboarded and painted. We're on a pre-deployment training for the project out into the Falklands. We're basically building them a living space in a large hangar, so each person will have an individual bedroom. There will be en-suites, there will be an armoury, a gym, kitchen. So literally we are building them a full living area. I think as a finisher you take pride in how something looks at the end result. It's first impressions for me, so you walk in a room, you want to see it's nicely finished.
I'm Sapper Penny and I'm a plant operator mechanic. So see all these machines behind us here, we're the ones that operate and maintain those machines to carry out a variety of tasks. I've operated light wheel tractors, medium wheel tractors, medium crawler excavators, bulldozers as well, rollers and dump trucks. All the kit's getting modernised and updated on a regular basis. So you see around the yard here today we've got a lot of unarmoured kit, but we've got a lot more armoured kit as well. We're massively in demand on pretty much all the tasks. You don't want to be doing stuff by hand if you can use a machine to do it here. So. We studied to complete a plant NVQ whilst we're here. We also get an MPAWS card, so that's the National Register of Plant Operators. We get some extra driver licences, so we carry out our GNIH licences here for tracks and rollers. Personally, in my first unit, when they sent me out to the Falkland Islands, I was there on a construction project, levelling off the ground and compacting the ground so it was of a stable enough nature to support the weight of all the wagons coming in with the containers and the cranes that they had to use.
I'm Charles Onslow, I'm a Lance Corporal, I'm a logistics specialist in the Royal Engineers. Logistics specialist basically supply all the materials that the tradesmen required. With the amount of different types of material and the amount of paperwork that goes behind it, you need someone dedicated to the accounting, keeping track of the cost of everything and making sure that the right equipment is delivered. An example would be Kenya, where we've been building a camp out there. We had electrical, so light switches, all the cables, the plumbing stores, roofing, paint, tiles, everything that you required for a building. So I was in charge of accounting for it all, making sure it was all stored correctly. and issuing it to the tradesmen when they required it. The role itself is quite demanding. There's quite a lot of responsibility, but it is rewarding.
My name is Sapper Grinnell and I'm an armoured engineer. An armoured engineer is driving armoured vehicles. So we've got 3 types of vehicles. We've got a Trojan, a Titan and a Terrier. A Trojan is a mine clearing tank. So if we approach a minefield and the battlefield can't get across, that's where we go straight up to the front and we clear the minefields for the whole battle group to go through. Titan is if we come across a gap and it's too big to build a bridge on, we would lower a bridge over that gap. And a Terrier is the smaller version of a Trojan. I am the first female armoured engineer. I'm the type of person who likes to challenge themselves. And when I heard that no female had done it before, I thought that that would be a great challenge to myself to see if I was capable of doing it. And then if I'm capable of doing it, then anybody's capable of doing it. I'd say the armoured engineers, you definitely look a lot cooler than everybody else. With this job, it's all about basically being covered in oil, covered in dirt, getting hands-on kit straight away, and just working and coming together as a team. It's good fun, and you make some good friends at the same time as well.
Everyone is triple traded, so they are a soldier first, then they're a combat engineer, and they're also a tradesman.
The combat engineering side is something I enjoy the most.
We do building bridges.
Demolitions, learning how to blow up, say, enemy bridges.
You learn your trenching, mine clearance, fortifications.
Fully equipped and trained how to deal with razor wire, fencing.
We can do water supply, so we might go to a part of the world where we haven't got a running water, so we need to utilise sort of rivers and streams.
Like disaster zones after events like tsunamis, earthquakes, stuff like that, really aid in helping the local population.
We also learn watermanship, so we learn how to actually drive some of the boats that we use, the assault boats.
Every trade in the engineers will do combat engineering, so it's like a base thing that all engineers do.
It's a 10-week intensive course and finished off with a big exercise.
So on this exercise we've been targeting 3 main areas within the combat engineering realm, which is the survivability. This consisted of building fortifications, so using that civil engineering type skill set. We moved on to mobility, and we did this through bridging. We built a bridge over a culvert to enable armoured vehicles and wheeled vehicles to move through that area. And now we're moving into the counter mobility, which is preventing the enemy coming towards us. One of these skills will be putting demolitions on a bridge, which will prevent the enemy utilising that bridge.
Everyone uses those skills as well as the soldering side of it, which makes the corps so versatile because we can do more than one job at one time, and we can turn our hand to lots of different things as they turn up unexpectedly, as these things always do.
The National Careers Service provides high-quality, free and impartial information, advice and guidance to help citizens make decisions on learning, training and work. It is available to all adults in England over the age of 13. Our universal service is primarily for citizens who need somewhere to go that can provide comprehensive careers information, advice or guidance for themselves. Additional users of our service are people who use it to support others. This includes professional careers advisors and intermediaries, such as employers, teachers, and parents. Our service is designed to enable users to self-serve as much as possible. However, some of our users need more intensive support. For self-service, our intuitive digital tools and smart use of data enable them to get a personalised service. Professional careers advisors will help provide users with additional advice and guidance specific to their personal circumstances. If you want any more information about the National Careers Service, please get in touch.
Check it out, yeah. What y'all wanna do? Don't you know we always come
apprenticeships are available right now. Fire up your career at apprenticeships.gov.uk.
Thank you very much to the Army. That was another inspiring talk. And be aware, right, the Army, they've got live events listed on their website. So go on there and see what else they're offering. There's loads more information there. They've actually got an in-depth talk on Thursday, the 3rd of December with the Royal Engineers. Totally relevant. Check it out. It'll be really interesting. Keep your shout-outs coming in. Hello again to Careers Wayland. There they are. The future engineers enjoying the BAE Systems talk and sending in lots of questions. That's what the chat function is for. Okay, down the bottom of the screen, any questions at all, we've got teams of people on hand to help answer them. Remember, today, tomorrow and Saturday, they are all about you guys, all right? They are all about giving you the tools that you need to make your career choices. It's totally invaluable. This is an amazing resource. Use it as much as you can. Also, shout out to the Year 10 Computer Science class from the Forest School. Hi, guys. Shout out to Northgate Academy. Hello to you. And there's lots of questions coming in from Swanhurst School in the chat, so keep them going, all right? Brilliant stuff. Well, guys, we've had quite a few talks already. Huge variety of stuff. Let us know what you've enjoyed the most, all right? So tweet in what you've enjoyed, and we'll give that feedback to everybody that's been involved in this whole day. Make sure you use the hashtag WSUK Live online, and you can email us, get in touch at worldskillsuk.org. Okay, we are going to take a quick break so you guys can go and freshen up, make yourselves a cup of tea, whatever it is you got to do, stretch your legs, but we'll be back in just a moment with more stuff that you need to know to make your career choices. We'll see you in a sec. And we're back. Welcome back to WorldSkills UK live online spotlight talks with BAE Systems. Now, if you're just joining us, WorldSkills UK are an independent charity in partnership with education, governments and employers. And today, tomorrow and Saturday are all about bringing you inspiring stories from amazing businesses, apprentices and role models across the board so that you guys can make the choices you need to have the best start in your career and in life. One of the exciting things that WorldSkills have been working on is our new mindset program. It's a brilliant initiative, and we've got a little video now that we can show you that just gives you a bit more insight into what it is and how it can help you.
At WorldSkills UK, we raise the standards in apprenticeships and technical education so more young people can get the best start in work and life. WorldSkills UK and Elite Sports share at heart competition, competitors and coaching to deliver peak performance on a global stage. We have developed a suite of learning resources for educators, students and apprentices to draw from our experiences of developing positive attitudes and behaviours through applied principles from performance psychology as our winning formula to developing a high-performance mindset in young people who go on to represent the UK in international competitions. Our learning resources for educators, students and apprentices will unlock and grow your potential. For more information about our mindset program and to book onto one of our mindset workshops for educators, visit our website at worldskillsuk.org.
There you go, worldskillsuk.org. Loads more information on there. There's loads of great stuff on there. It's a brilliant resource, so check it out. And that mindset program, honestly, really, really good stuff. Now, guys, remember, we want to hear from you. Hashtag WSUK Live online, or you can email us, get in touch at worldskillsuk.org. Let us know where you're watching from, name check your school, teachers. Let's see a picture of your classroom. We want to know how many people are watching. We've had loads of messages from people saying, oh, like 30 year 9s are doing this or whatever. Let's see them, all right? We want to see them. We'll put them up on the screen. This is about you guys, so we want to know who's watching and where you're watching from. All right, now, today, as you've probably worked out, the theme is engineering and technology. And we wanted to introduce you to one of our very special alumni. We call those alumni WorldSkills champions, all right? We caught up with the amazing Keris at the University of Manchester, where she works as an apprentice electronics specialist support technician. She's got a really inspiring story. Here it is.
I'm Keris Bolton. I'm an apprentice specialist support technician at the University of Manchester. The competition that I entered at WorldSkills UK was the industrial electronics competition. And then when I found out I could come second after the national finals, I just didn't expect to just place at all.
So Keris has been an apprentice with us now for 5 years. We contacted WorldSkills, saw if we could sort of get her involved in it, and it just gave us the bug for it, really. And we thought it was a really good idea for Keris because she wasn't always as confident, so we thought sort of bridging that gap there would help her.
From the WorldSkills UK competitions, the main skills that I probably gained a lot was the soft skills in terms of confidence and being able to speak to people and believing in myself.
She now actively puts herself forward to do PowerPoints. She's a STEM ambassador. She's done all sorts really since the back of WorldSkills.
So once I'd come second in the competition, I was kind of a bit of a whirlwind through my career. So, you know, I'd been put forward for awards, I'd won awards, I'd been shortlisted, half managed one of the workshops, and it's just like, you know, the little things that you know, the opportunities that you kind of get offered from the back of it are just opportunities you'd never think would be possible. I've been involved with the Youth Voice Census and had the opportunity to go to the House of Parliament and put my opinion across. I was invited to be part of a diversity and inclusion research group. My day-to-day job is to repair, design, manufacture and fault find for research and teaching. It's just interesting that not every day is the same. You know, I could come in one day and I'll repair a piece of equipment for a research lab that's finding out a cure for cancer. STEM is very underrepresented, especially women, and I think it's just important that it's opened up to everyone, especially with it being a more upcoming area of engineering.
I absolutely love that. That's so great. Thanks so much to Keris. And the work that we do here, helping inspire people like Keris, that couldn't be done without the support of our sponsors as well. So we just want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out and a big thank you from us and on behalf of you guys to all of our sponsors, BAE Systems, obviously, North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, the Army, the Careers and Enterprise Company, the Royal Navy, Leonardo's, the Royal Air Force, Movement to Work and Learn Live. Thanks so much to all of them. Right, guys, keep your tweets coming in. Make sure you're using that chat function below. And don't forget, if you do send in a tweet to let us know where you're watching from, how many of you are and what you're enjoying, you could be entered in to a competition to win a £100 Amazon voucher for your school. And that money is also up for grabs if you fill out the survey that's in the General tab at the bottom of the screen. Keep your interactions coming. There's been loads of great stuff on the web chat as well. So thanks so much to all of you for getting involved in that. Right, now, next up, I caught up earlier in the week with a really amazing woman, Roma Agrawal. Now, she is not only an author and an inspiring individual who does lots of activism work, but she's also one of the top engineers in the UK and was involved at a very high level, both literally and in terms of her work, on building the Shard, the tallest building in the UK, one of the tallest buildings in Europe. I had a great chat with her, and we're going to see that right now. Hi, Roma. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
So, Roma, I want to find out more about being a structural engineer, what it takes, what it is. And luckily, you are one of the most celebrated structural engineers in the country. So you're probably a good person to chat to about that.
So if you've never heard of structural engineering before, it's basically our role to make sure that buildings and bridges stand up. So if you think about whatever structure or room or building or whatever you're sitting in, I personally am in a brick building that has wooden floor beams that was built in 1905. And the reason that the structure that I'm sitting in, that you're sitting in, is hopefully not going to collapse on your head is because somebody like me has done some maths to make sure that's not going to happen.
And I guess you also get to see some of these incredible buildings, taking shape and then being able to say, that's actually physically standing up because of me. The Shard being a great example. I am a huge fan of the Shard as a building. That must have been amazing to work on.
I'm so glad you liked the building. It was really amazing to work on. And I spent about 6 years of my career working on different bits of the building. That sounds like a really long time. But luckily, there were lots of different things that I was working on. So I worked on the foundation design. So how do we actually hold the structure up? So there's lots of concrete in the ground that's keeping the tower stable. And then I also worked on the spire, which is where the viewing gallery is. So if you've been lucky enough to visit,
I have several times. I actually once DJ'd at the top of the Shard in the viewing gallery. That's my claim to fame.
Why wasn't I invited?
I'm sure you probably were. It was a while ago.
Okay. But what you probably noticed as you were spinning the decks is that all the structure around you was exposed, so you can see all the steel, which means you can see every bolt and nut and weld and beam and column around you. And so designing that was a completely different challenge compared to designing the foundation, because the foundation is really about robustness and strength and making sure the building's stable. And then the spire was a lot about aesthetics, but also how do you build safely? Because if you think about it, that's the highest steel that's ever been installed in the UK. So it's the first time that we were working on that sort of scale.
So with that process, did you factor in the aesthetics into your actual designs? Or did the architect say, I want it to look roughly like this, and then you worked out how to do it? Or did you think, right, this needs to stand up, but it's my job to make it look a certain way?
Yes, it has to stand up. So we're thinking about all the different forces that are hitting the top of the shard. So you've got really strong wind forces, because the taller you go, the higher you go above the ground, the stronger the wind force that comes in. And of course, there's gravity, which is great. You know, we love gravity, but it means it kind of pulls down on the tower. So we need to make sure that it can resist those forces. But then at the same time, it needed to look great. And when you connect different bits of steel up, you need to use bolts or welds. And quite often engineers, you just kind of bosh them in because they all get covered up, but that's not the case with the spire. And I think that's why I really loved working particularly on the spire of the shard, because it's not often that structural engineers get their work kind of on display like that. So we had to be very considerate of what it looked like.
We'll talk about some of your other projects and stuff as well. But I remember when it was being built and I was living in London, there was a name for people who were really into the shard watchers. And people would go and like stand on the building site and stand at the edges. And social media was full of, accounts where people were just like taking pictures every day of it growing and stuff. I was pretty much one of those people. That's not really a question. It's just I'm a fan of your work.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I think the shard did wonders for people's interest in construction and engineering, because it was such a visual thing and it was so visible from different parts of London. And I think, I remember being on a train kind of pulling into London Bridge, and the core of the shard, the kind of central concrete spine was going up. And there were these little kids kind of with their faces glued on to the windows going, oh my God, look at this shard being built. And it just kind of seemed to bring up, inspiration and excitement, and especially in young kids.
So what other projects have you worked on that you felt a similar sense of pride?
So I get a similar sense of pride from all of my projects, because I think you mentioned earlier that you're actually seeing your design and your work becoming a real thing, becoming a thing that you can kind of touch and see and feel is absolutely incredible. And there's not that many professions where you get that satisfaction. The very first project I did was actually a footbridge in Newcastle for the Northumbria University. That's going back 15 years now, and it's still standing, which, tick, that's what we want from the design. And then on a completely opposite scale, I also designed like small wooden foundations for a sculpture that was standing up in Covent Garden in London over one summer. Right. And I've done railway stations, I've done some apartment blocks. So I've been incredibly lucky that I've worked on a real range of different structures.
And what inspired you to become an engineer in the first place? How did it even occur to you?
So I always loved maths and science, and I grew up in India. And in India, there's actually a lot more emphasis on a scientific education, because people are aspiring for their children to become accountants or doctors or engineers. And so in some ways, it's kind of boring for my parents to tell people, oh, she's an engineer. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. So it was after I came to the UK to do my A-levels, where I was still studying maths, physics, and design, that I started to think, what do I actually want to do as a job? And at that point, no one ever really suggested to me that engineering might be something to consider. So I went off to university and studied physics. And then I was working in the physics department at my university one summer to earn some money. And while, the actual thing that I was doing was incredibly boring, the people that were around me in the office were engineers, and they were designing this incredible equipment that would be used by the particle accelerator at CERN. Wow. So if you're a physics aficionado, then you'll know what that is. And that really inspired me. And I suddenly realized that engineering is a way that you can use maths and science to make real things. And I should add that structural engineering is like one tiny, minuscule little bit of the different types of engineering that you can do. So there's lots and lots of options out there.
So what are the skills that you need? You've mentioned, maths and science. They're obviously key, but there's probably more to it than that.
You don't have to be clever. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to even love maths and science. I think what you really need to love is solving problems and making stuff. But I think what I realized after I started work was that an incredibly important skill is actually communication. So I didn't realize this when I was at university. So I should say after I finished my physics degree, I did an MSc in structural engineering, and then that's how I kind of got a job and into the profession. But what I didn't realize is how much teamwork there is. So yes, I'm on my laptop or computer even with a pencil and a paper doing calculations. But I have so many discussions with, the architect, like we discussed before, the different engineers that, we have to talk to and so on, that it's really, really important that you can express your ideas clearly to people who aren't engineers and build up those relationships with your team members. And so I actually think that those are essential skills to be a successful engineer.
You do need some specific qualifications.
I did a science degree and then I did a master's in engineering. You can do an engineering degree, and that would be a little bit more straightforward than what I did. And of course, you can also do apprenticeships, and there's different ways that you can do that. What's great about apprenticeships is that you can work and earn money while you're studying, get real life experience. It's good that there's a few different options. And I think you can also do BTECs and get into engineering that way, rather than A levels. So there's lots of different pathways, and you find something that suits you.
With an apprenticeship as well, you're also honing those communication skills because you're actually in that working environment straight away.
Yeah, and I've seen, 16 or 18-year-olds come into the office and be so kind of overawed, overwhelmed, and maybe a little bit scared on their first few days or the first couple of weeks. And then it's just amazing to watch how quickly their confidence grows. So it's something I would definitely recommend.
It does tend to skew quite male at the moment. An Engineering UK report in 2018 said that only 12% of engineers are women, and girls are much less likely to consider that career. Why do you think that's the case?
So I think it's less than 10% it's even less than that. Maybe less than 5% of engineers are people of color. So there is definitely a stereotype around engineering. I think it's a bit of a Western problem. I think it's like a UK-US sort of problem where I think the golden days of engineering perhaps were a long time ago, like 100, 150 years ago. And engineers like Brunel and Bazalgette and Stephenson, everybody knew who they were, and they were almost like celebrities. But then I think over time, the prestige of the career went away. And then these kind of stereotypes built around them, which suggested that it was greasy, muddy, dirty, required heavy lifting. And so became this thing that appeared to be off-putting to women or people from other minorities. And the stereotypes have persisted. And I've noticed that, so I have a little girl who's 16 months old, and I just bought her some wellies that have a digger on them. But I had to buy that from the boys section. And I was like, what exactly about a digger means that I have to go into the boys section to buy them? It's a very odd thing. So we've created these stereotypes that are so persistent in our culture, and we don't even realize how much of that we're absorbing.
So how do you think we tackle it? I mean, what would you say to encourage more girls to get involved in engineering?
I could talk for days about how we might tackle it, and I don't think there's an easy answer. Otherwise, we would have done it. But there are lots of different efforts that are going on. So I think there are two things with respect to, encouraging minorities into engineering. One is to just open people's eyes to the possibility that engineering could be a career that they pursue. And even if they don't decide to pursue it, it's something to be interested in. You don't have to become an engineer to be interested in engineering and to be literate in engineering. So I think raising awareness is a big one, and events like today, doing lots of public lectures which is something I do. Podcasts, getting more engineers into the media. We had a survey once on Twitter, and we tried to figure out which films featured structural engineers or civil engineers prominently. And the only one we could come up with was the Saw films, which I haven't seen, but apparently this crazed murderer was a civil engineer.
Wow, that's not the one you want, is it? That's not exactly giving it a good rep.
No,
Andy's
it's
a
not.
nightmare. Disaster.
So, it's about bringing engineering more into popular culture, I think. But then the second thing is for the industry and for the organizations that operate in the industry to make sure that their culture is welcoming to all sorts of people, so that when people who look like me or somebody else actually does come into the profession, that we feel supported, included, we get promoted, we get the right pay rises and so on, and so that we can actually run forward with our careers.
Well, it's great that you're doing so much work to try and address that situation. I mean, the fact that you do so much speaking and, like you say, lecturing and chairing events and doing things like this. When you first started out in your career, did you ever think that you would also be doing the kind of stuff that you're doing today? Because, a lot of people train just to do that,
I absolutely did not expect or plan or think that this would happen for me. And what's interesting is that I think because I am different from the stereotypical engineer, I was able to take these opportunities and run with them and become a bit of a spokesperson and an advocate for increasing diversity and inclusion in the engineering profession. So, it's really thanks to my work on the Shard, where like you said, it really captured people's imaginations, and I started getting invitations from schools and universities and women's groups and so on to come and speak about my work. And then that led to me doing public lectures, to writing some blogs and some pieces. And at least I used to hate writing, but then I wrote a book, and this came out a couple of years ago, and it won the biggest science book prize in the US, which was incredible. So I did that, and I did a podcast as well. I did a little mini series, and I think basically I got into the place where I have this huge passion about making engineering exciting and accessible to people from all different sorts of backgrounds.
Well, you've done great work in that area, and you've been recognised for it with an MBE. So I probably should have introduced you with the MBE at the end of your name. Is that still something that you kind of pinch yourself about?
I definitely do, and I've renamed it Mega Badass Engineer. So that's what MBE is for me.
That's good. Yeah, brilliant. You should get that put on some wellies. Put it in both the boys and girls section. Listen, thank you so much, Roma, for talking to me and sharing your story. It's genuinely, truly inspiring, and I'm sure you're going to go on to inspire a lot more, people from minorities and girls and women to get involved in engineering. So congratulations and thanks again.
The National Careers Service provides high-quality, free and impartial information, advice and guidance to help citizens make decisions on learning, training and work. It is available to all adults in England over the age of 13. Our universal service is primarily for citizens who need somewhere to go that can provide comprehensive careers information, advice or guidance for themselves. Additional users of our service are people who use it to support others. This includes professional careers advisors and intermediaries, such as employers, teachers, and parents. Our service is designed to enable users to self-serve as much as possible. However, some of our users need more intensive support. For self-servers, our intuitive digital tools and smart use of data enable them to get a personalised service. Professional careers advisors will help provide users with additional advice and guidance specific to their personal circumstances. If you want any more information about the National Careers Service, please get in touch.
Thank you so much to Roma. I told you that she was inspiring. She really is. What an amazing person. And it's been great. Actually, I was just having a look at some of the interactions on the web chat. And some of you have literally written to her, "You are my inspiration," which is great to see. She is on the web chat still. So if you've got any questions for Roma about her career, about her life, about engineering, whatever you want to know, pop it in that web chat and Roma herself will be answering those questions. So guys, have you been enjoying today so far? I mean, it's been amazing. It's been a real eye-opener for me as well, even seeing all of these talks and seeing all of these inspirational stories and finding out more about these businesses. I mean, today's all about engineering and technology, and one of the main takeaways I think has to be the sheer variety of jobs and roles that are available within those sectors. I mean, engineering, as Roma said at the beginning of her talk, it's not just putting up a building and keeping it standing up. I mean, it's involved in everything, so many different roles in the armed forces, there's technical skills. I mean, we had Foxdog on earlier, building a computer game. That counts as engineering. I mean, who knew? It's been brilliant to see. And actually, it's kind of made me realize how much engineering there is that goes on around me. When I'm doing my job, on a TV set, filming, or doing a live broadcast like this, I mean, I'm the least important person involved in this whole process. I'm just the person that waffles on into the camera. It's all the technicians and people with engineering experience who actually make all of this happen, from the lighting crews to the cameramen to, actually, yes, we're going to see some of them now. There we go. Look at this. The magic behind give it a wave. Sarah Newen at the front there, working hard. They're actually pretending. They're playing that game that Foxdog developed on their laptops now. They're not doing it at all. And you can see my hair gel there, which I clearly haven't been using enough of on the front. We actually also have, as part of our team, Sam, who is himself an apprentice. He's hidden at the back there with his mask on. He's only 17 years old, but he is our studio technician who is helping keep this stream running. And that is no easy... Oh, yeah, we're lighting him a bit better there now. There we go. Yeah, lovely. Regal wave. But it's people like Sam who keep this industry going. You know, it's people like Sam that mean that I can do my job and you guys can get access to all of this brilliant information that we're bringing you. And I said it before, but now, with everything that's been going on in the world, with the pandemic and COVID, it is those technical skills which are more important than ever. The government is investing in them, businesses are investing in them, and by making those investments, they're investing in all of our future. And it's you guys watching from wherever you are that can bring all of this to life and can actually help keep the wheels turning and keep the lights on and keep the UK going strong. So, whatever you've enjoyed the most so far, get involved, get in touch, let us know, hashtag WSUK Live online, or send us an email, get in touch at worldskillsuk.org. Now, the one thing that I've been slightly disappointed about today is that not enough teachers have been getting their phones out and taking pictures of the classrooms to show us how many of you are watching. Now, teachers, I know, all right, normally phones are banned from the classroom. That's okay, but you're the teacher. You're allowed to have your phone in your pocket. We've had a few shout outs from teachers, but we want more, all right? Get those pictures in, and also keep the questions coming on the web chat. And that's going to be open after the stream is finished. We're going to do our best to get all of your questions answered. And remember, if you get in touch through the socials, through the email, through the web chat, or you fill out the survey in the general tab at the bottom, you could be in with a chance of winning a £100 Amazon voucher for your school. Okay, right, let's get on with the sessions. We've got another great one coming up now from Leonardo. Now, we saw a little bit earlier when Keris was talking that we need lots of people from lots of different backgrounds involved in STEM-based industries. And Leonardo are doing a great job at challenging some of the stereotypes that go with those sorts of roles and getting a diversity of people involved. So, Leonardo, take it away.
In the UK, Leonardo has over 100 years of history. Today, we are at the leading edge of advanced manufacturing. With 7,000 highly skilled employees, generating revenues of £2.3 billion, including £1.3 billion of exports. Supporting 1,500 UK SMEs. We invest £200 million in research and development to keep the UK at the forefront of advanced technology and manufacturing. We are building skills for the future. As one of the largest employers of engineering apprentices and graduates in the UK. We have 415 people on award-winning training programs. We explore new ideas and turn them into real solutions. We are Leonardo.
I've been working at Leonardo for about 3 years now, and what I love about it is the variety.
I've always been fascinated by anything mechanical.
It's all about finding practical solutions. There's absolutely no margin for error. The sensors are a life-saving system. We can look at a small object in a vast space. It's a bit like having a super sense. Testing needs to be really precise to replicate real-world conditions.
Since I've been working at Leonardo, I got really interested in a proximity sensor that the guys have been working on. And this groundbreaking tech can help to save lives as well as the helicopter itself.
I've had the chance to work as part of a team to design a complex mechanism which protects high-speed aircraft.
I've always enjoyed making things, and I loved solving problems. For me, being an engineer is all about being methodical, curious and creative.
Projects like this can make a real difference, and getting the chance to work on them is really rewarding.
I love working in a place where I get to be really creative.
And where we are designing the technology of tomorrow.
Hi, my name's Fiona and I'm going to be looking after you on this session. What I'd like to talk to you about is careers in STEM and the kind of things you might want to be able to do. So when you think of a career in STEM, you're probably thinking about engineering and science and being an engineer or a scientist. But there are lots and lots of different roles in STEM and many of them do not require you to be an engineer at all. So when you think of an engineer, what do you think? What do they look like? What do they do? I bet you're thinking that they work in a lab or they work with a soldering iron and they've got dirty fingernails and they wear socks and sandals if they're engineers. That's what we used to think when we were young. But it's not true. Engineers look like anybody, you or I. I'm going to introduce you to some.
Hi, my name is Jack Humpsall and I've just finished my technical apprenticeship with Leonardo.
Hi, I'm Ellen and I'm a second year technical apprentice. I am currently in my second placement on the scheme and that placement is software.
Hello, my name is Catherine and I'm a year in industry student, so that means I've done 2 years at uni. I'm taking a year out to work with Leonardo on a few projects, and then at the end of this year I will go back to uni and finish my last year of my degree.
Hi, my name is Ella and I recently finished my business apprenticeship at Leonardo.
I work for a high-level engineering company called Leonardo. And we have some incredibly skilled people and we make really complicated equipment that protects people protecting us, so the RAF, the Navy and those kind of guys. And in that company there are hundreds of people with all sorts of skills who come from all sorts of backgrounds and have all sorts of characteristics. And what I'd like to do today is to introduce you to some of those ideas and get you to think about whether a career in something like this could be for you. So when I think about an engineer, I don't really think about the socks and sandals thing. I tend to think of them as a thinker, as a creator. It's a very creative discipline. Engineers are spending their time thinking about, well, what's the problem I need to fix? What do we have around us in the environment that could be better? What do we not have in the environment that we need? What's the next best thing? And how do we get there? So it's all about coming up with that great idea, that great invention, and being a bit of an entrepreneur and thinking, how can I make something that the world will need? So let's find out what our apprentices, our friends, think are the best inventions that they've made.
So when I was thinking about what my favourite engineering invention has been, I really wasn't sure, so I decided to Google it on my phone, and I realised that actually Google was probably my favourite invention, because you can ask it absolutely anything and it will tell you the answer, or it will show you exactly what you want to know.
Cool. So my favourite invention was created by Barnes Wallace for World War II, which was a bouncing ball. So it's a really simple idea of skimming marbles and creating this bouncing ball, which was an absolute turning point in World War II. So this really simple idea can be brought from anywhere to make something really cool in engineering.
When I thought about my first invention, the first thing that popped into my head was either like eyeliner or lashes, and then I thought like a nail drill. Like, I love getting my nails done, and it's a brilliant invention. I went into the makerspace, which is like a lab where you can go in and make whatever you want, and we've got a Dremel, and it's like a big version of a nail drill. So I knew how to use it and everything because I've obviously done my nails, but yeah, that's my favourite invention.
So I'd like to do a little experiment in a minute, so go and find yourself a pen or a biro or a pencil and a piece of paper. It doesn't need to be big. And while you're doing that, I was just going to say that if you look around you at everything you use, it's been invented by an engineer. Somebody's come up with that idea. And if you look at what's changed in the last few years, the inventions are incredible. And 5 years from now, 20 years from now, we won't recognise the world we're in. You know, everything from my humble pencil to the OSIRIS-REx that's just picked up rocks from an asteroid way out in the galaxy and is going to bring them back for us to look at them and find out even more about the start of the universe. It's very exciting. Okay, let's do an experiment. I'm going to go and find a whiteboard. Okay, so let's do an experiment. Let's try something. Find yourself a pencil and paper and write your name on the piece of paper. Simple. Okay, when you've done that, put the pen in the other hand and write your name on the piece of paper. So how did you find that? When I tried to write my name with the wrong hand, it was just different and complicated for me. So I've got some friends here who've done the same exercise. So when you had to use the wrong hand, what kind of things did you find about it?
It takes a lot longer and requires more focus.
It doesn't look anywhere near as good, and it's quite clunky with lots of straight lines.
It's not very neat, and overall, it's just a harder task to do.
I felt like I had to concentrate so much harder than normal.
Yeah, it's not neat and it's harder. And those are the kind of things that we find all the time. So this is a simple exercise, but the point of it is that in anything you do, you have a preferred way of doing things. And with writing, you've got a hand that you're used to writing with, and that one works and it's easy and comfortable. If you have to use the other hand, you can, and the first time is hard and takes longer and is not so good. But I could learn to write neatly with my left hand, and I would be able to do that quite happily if I just took some time and some practice. But it isn't my preferred way. So wouldn't it be good if when you come to a world of work that you can find what your preferred way of working is and the things that make you happy and comfortable, and if you could find a role that fitted who you are and what those things are, then that would be great because you would just have a comfortable match to your place of work.
Do any of these words sound like you? I bet they do. There are 49 words or phrases here. If you can find 10 to 15 that fit you and who you are, then there is a career for you in an engineering environment. Any combination, and you will be ideal for an important role in securing the next generation of invention, whether that's in aerospace, IT, food and drink, medical sciences, building infrastructures, or providing clean water for everyone, or renewable energy for the future. Engineering is all around us, and you can be part of that future. If you go to the My Skills, My Life website, you'll find a quiz there that asks you a few questions and then gives you your preferred working styles. The quiz matches who you are to people like you who enjoy their roles in an engineering environment and tells you what sort of roles might suit you. The types of roles are shown here. Now, they're not job titles, they are styles of working. So you may be someone who likes to get their teeth into tricky problems and solve them. You may be someone who likes to make sure everything is done properly and has every I dotted and every T crossed. You may be someone who likes to share their knowledge and coach younger or less experienced people. You may like to be the boss and tell others what to do. It doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. There is just you. And you can be a vital part of a multi-skilled, diverse, effective team. Let's find out what my friends discovered when they did the quiz.
As a coordinator, I am able to put a team together and work well with everybody to do a task, do it well, on time and within budget. And as you might imagine, that is quite a key skill within the engineering environment, where teams can be very large and can be very varied.
I'm a trainer, which fits well with the job that I do, writing technical documentation and explaining technical detail to people who aren't specialists in that field. As a campaigner, I'm also able to influence the direction we take with our work, so my results fit quite well with what I do as a day job.
My results from the People Like Me quiz were influencer and trainer. I find this quite interesting because before I started my career at Leonardo, I worked in sales and I was a gymnastics coach. These both correspond to the roles that I am best suited to do as being an influencer and a trainer.
I got some quite varied results. At the moment, I'm in a project management role, which I love, but my results show that I can adapt to other specialisms, so I have many avenues open to me.
So as you can see, there are all sorts of different people who work in STEM-related subjects, all sorts of characteristics, all sorts of personalities, and they all have a vital role to play. For me, when I did the same quiz, I came out as a communicator, trainer, persuader. And all the roles I've really enjoyed in my long career have been talking to people, persuading them of a way to view things, persuading them of the fact that Leonardo's equipment is actually very good and will save their lives, teaching all our youngsters as they come onto site, and generally communicating with people, taking quite complicated subjects that are geeky and turning them into English. So I kind of translate geek to English, and that's my role. And I love it. I get such a buzz from it. I don't really understand the depth of the engineering that my colleagues do, but I get enough of it that I can explain it. So I've found a way to use my skills in order to help others and help the company. So there's a role for everybody. Wouldn't it be great to invent teleportation and pop to California for no reason? So there are lots of different roles in engineering disciplines for lots of different personalities and lots of different characters. So how can you find out if one of those might suit you? Well, let's go back to the UK and find out. So there are lots of ways that you can have a look at engineering roles, scientific roles, and see whether they might be for you. Most companies like ours will offer work placements, summer placements, apprenticeships, ways to come and try it out and see whether it's for you. So go and have a look. Have a look on the websites that you'll have found from the last couple of days. Ours is down there. And basically don't think it's not for you. Try and think whether it might be for you, whether you could see yourself working in this kind of place and see yourself being people like us. Let's go back to our apprentices and our IP and find out why they chose to do that in the first place.
I think one of the best things about working in an apprenticeship in Leonardo is really sort of going around the different areas of the business and working with people that have like real expertise in their specific areas. And you can learn so much working on like really world-class kit with people that know thoroughly what they're on about.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think like the best part I've found about Leonardo is the people. So working here is the first sort of professional environment I've ever worked in, and I absolutely love it, and I think I thrive in it. So I think I really agree something about people.
I think one of the best things about my apprenticeship is the fact that I get to learn, but then do the job at the same time. And then I go to college once a week, and you do like all your knowledge and your theoretical stuff, and then you can apply that straight to the job when you come in. The education is funded through Leonardo, and then you also get paid on the job. So I think it's just like a win-win-win situation. Like I'm learning, I'm doing the job, and I'm getting paid all in one. I feel like I'm multitasking without trying.
I think the best thing about being an IP, so I've only been here a month, I've met such a vast range of people. I've truly discovered the vast expanse which is engineering. There's so much different stuff to do. I've done stuff I haven't even been taught at uni. I've used equipment I didn't even know existed. So I think that's a huge win. And I've enjoyed applying my uni stuff to real world examples.
So there is a world of opportunities out there. There are lots of things to try. My advice to you, keep your options open. Do the subjects that you love, the ones that really make you excited. If that happens to be maths and physics, fantastic, but it doesn't need to be. There are lots of roles that don't need it. Do some research, find out what's around you. Are there places that you could find out about and go and do some work experience? Above all, don't let anybody else tell you what you should do. You're the one who's going to do this work, so do what you love. Find something that pays you for doing what you enjoy. That's fantastic. And the only thing that's stopping you walking into a world like this and having a really great time is you not applying. So crack on. It's your life, it's your role. Go find it.
So I hope you found that interesting. There's lots of resources to go and check out. They'll be at the bottom. Go and have a look. Do the People Like Me quiz. Investigate some engineering places. And if you fancy something like you've seen us do today, then give Leonardo a look. So again, hope that was fun, and bye.
Hello, I'm Thibaut and I'm a second year business apprentice at Leonardo. One of the main reasons that I was attracted to Leonardo was because I was looking for something a bit different to the rest of the jobs that were on the market at the time.
Hello, my name's Olivia Gribbler and I work on the Products and Programmes graduate scheme for Leonardo helicopters at the Yeovil site. I chose to apply for this job and have really enjoyed the past year of my scheme, principally because there's so many opportunities made available to you as a graduate within Leonardo.
Hi, I'm Ellen and I'm a technical apprentice at Leonardo. I can learn things and I can ask so many questions and I can really expand my knowledge.
Hi, I'm Becca and I'm a business apprentice at Leonardo. Leonardo is a great place to work. I absolutely love it. Everyone there is so nice and so welcoming and will never ever turn you down if you need help.
Hi, my name's Emma and I'm an apprentice at Leonardo. The apprenticeship was the right route for me because I'm a very practically minded person. It also allowed me to gain qualifications as well as gaining hands-on experience whilst in my job.
Hi guys, my name is Jason. I work as a cybersecurity apprentice. My biggest hobby was building computers. My first task here at Leonardo was actually to build servers. It was amazing to see a hobby that I use every day translate into a real life skill.
One thing I love about just working as part of my course is you're surrounded by so many intelligent people.
As an openly gay man, it's very, very important for me to be able to walk into my place of work feeling comfortable and supported and as though there's no judgment. I knew that this would be the case at Leonardo because they're so committed to ensuring each and every single employee feels safe and protected while at work.
It's amazing to see the hobbies and interests work out to be a full-time job here at Leonardo.
We can also have half days on Fridays, which is absolutely great because it means that I can meet up with my friends after work. So it's not just a constant work.
I think if it's something you're considering, I would definitely recommend it to anybody who wants a really varied and interesting role for their first step into their career.
Go get your future. T-Levels, the qualification designed with leading employers. Step into health and science, education and childcare, digital and IT, construction and design. Find your T-Level, the post-GCSE qualification that helps you take it to the next level. Start your T-Level at tlevels.gov.uk.
Check it out, yeah. What y'all wanna do? Don't you know we always coming through? Me and my crew, let me hear you say fire up! Say fire!
Thousands of government-funded apprenticeships are available right now. Fire up your career at apprenticeships.gov.uk.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that last talk from Leonardo. That was really useful. It was great to have so much interaction with so many young people on that as well. Speaking of interaction, keep your shout outs coming in. Lots of you have been asking great questions on the web chat. Now, one question which has been coming up a lot on the web chat has been, what grades, what qualifications do I need to take on some of these apprenticeships? Well, the beauty of it is it doesn't necessarily matter. That's one of the great things about apprenticeships and so many of the things that are being offered by all of the employers that we've had access to and we've had videos from today. You learn on the job, you earn while you learn, and there are routes in which make things a lot easier for you to get involved in those apprenticeships. So you don't have to have straight A grades at the sciences. That is not a prerequisite. And actually, Mark from BAE Systems, who came on earlier, he's one of the guys that heads up their apprenticeship scheme, he was saying that increasingly, because technology moves so quickly, increasingly they want people with humanities backgrounds, whether that, he mentioned history of art, for instance, as being something which shows that you can think creatively. Because with engineering, with technology, creative thinking is really, really important. You know, that's one of the things that helps you solve problems in new and exciting ways. So whatever qualifications you've got, there could be an apprenticeship for you. Go online, do your research, and make that step into the career that suits you. Okay, guys. We've only got one final session of the day coming up after a bit of a break where you can go and, you know, make that last cup of tea, stretch your legs one more time and come back nice and fresh at 1:30 when we're going to have the North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College. They're going to be giving loads more great advice to round off today's session. So don't go anywhere for too long. We'll see you back here at 1:30. Hey guys, welcome back to WorldSkills UK Live online Spotlight Talks with BAE Systems. Thanks for joining us again. Quick shout outs. Hi to NACRO Bolton. Keep watching, guys. Hi to Craven College Aviation Academy in Leeds, chock full of engineers and technicians. Great to have you with us. Right, we've got one final session for today. Don't worry, we've got 2 more days ahead of us as well. We've got Friday and Saturday with loads more great content for you. But for today, we are being closed out. It's like festival headliners. We're being closed out by North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, who are going to provide you with functional advice on how to pursue an apprenticeship in engineering. And they've also got an amazing case study in excellence on how the FE sector supports its apprentices into employment. Super useful now more than ever. So watch this, take it in and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to WorldSkills Spotlight Talks. I am Alex and I am here to tell you about NWSLC and the engineering opportunities that are available to you. North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, also known as NWSLC, supports around 12,000 students in full-time and part-time study, apprenticeships, higher education, professional courses and distance learning. We have 6 campuses based in Nuneaton, South Wigston, Hinckley, Harrowbrook, Myra Technology Institute and our Digital Skills Academy. We offer a range of engineering courses and apprenticeships and work with some big brands including Toyota and Young Heinrich. Every year, over 90% of our students leave us to progress onto higher education or into employment. The college has links to some interesting engineering businesses, such as MP Engineering, which produces parts for Red Bull F1 cars. Our engineering courses cover the basics of engineering principles, all the way through specialist subjects including automotive engineering and computer-aided design. Studying an engineering course with us means that you will get the knowledge, skills and support you need to progress in your studies. You will also have the confidence to move on to higher education, apprenticeships and a successful career. Our engineering apprenticeships will develop the skills and knowledge you need to become an effective employee within the engineering sector. As an apprentice, you will learn industry-specific skills within the workplace. This is delivered through specialist training and assessments by your employer and assessor. Within engineering, there are a range of jobs available, including aerospace and robotics, electronics and technology, and civil engineering. Whether you want to be office-based, in the workshop, or on site, this is an exciting industry with impressive earning potential. We have a dedicated apprenticeship team who can help you find the right apprenticeship for you. In today's Spotlight Talk, you will learn all about engineering at NWSLC, gain an insight into an engineering apprenticeship and get to see our MTI campus. But first, we're going to learn about studying full-time engineering courses at NWSLC.
I'd like to think that it'd get students to go for an apprenticeship and full-time work, and then progression from there, going into companies, working up the ladder. Students don't feel pressured into being academic. They can actually work and progress at their own pace. Because industries out there over the last 30, 40 years have changed, particularly in engineering, we've got to change. And to do that, students have also got to be seen to be changing. As I say, because they're not all academic. A lot of skills out there, whilst I've been in teaching, is visually responsive to how they learn. The students we have in engineering, hopefully, can actually have a big impact in the future. We give them a structured sessions within the college, particularly within engineering. We've certainly changed of how we'd like to do things, more on a practical basis rather than a theoretical one.
I chose BTEC engineering at NWSLC because not many colleges offers engineering, so it gives me the course that I wanted with like the location like where I live, close by. The college supported me on my course by providing me with textbooks, specific teachings, and when I struggle, I ask the lecturer, he provides me with the information that I need to help me along with my assignments. Doing work experience with Longfish Architect in Nottingham, it helped me develop further ideas in the type of architecture industry there are, and helped me understood the way that things actually work. So it helped me in terms of deciding whether I want to go into architecture or whether I want to study further product design. My next step after college is to go into university to study further product design and get more experience in the engineering industries, like the type of engineering that I want to do and where I want to go with it. I started my story at WSLC.
Now you have heard more about our full-time courses in engineering, we are going to look at how it is like to study an engineering apprenticeship within welding and fabrication at JBMPS Limited.
My name is Julian Malin. I'm the Company Director of JBMPS Limited.
My name is James Mann. I'm the General Manager of JBMPS Limited. So the company was founded in 1996 by my father.
The National Careers Service provides high-quality, free and impartial information, advice and guidance to help citizens make decisions on learning, training and work. It is available to all adults in England over the age of 13. Our universal service is primarily for citizens who need somewhere to go that can provide comprehensive careers information, advice or guidance for themselves. Additional users of our service are people who use it to support others. This includes professional careers advisors and intermediaries, such as employers, teachers, and parents. Our service is designed to enable users to self-serve as much as possible. However, some of our users need more intensive support. For self-servers, our intuitive digital tools and smart use of data enable them to get a personalised service. Professional careers advisors will help provide users with additional advice and guidance specific to their personal circumstances. If you want any more information about the National Careers Service, please get in touch.
Something you love, designing and making your own experiment, and as the people around you are doing theirs, they'll come over and look at it and be like, oh, I've not done that before, and oh, are you having fun whilst always doing it? And because it's something new and no one's done it, I feel really privileged to be the first person to. I'm doing my college assessments on Mondays, so it's only one day a week. From Tuesday to Friday, I work in the workplace, and how I get around doing the work is if we get it all done in college, it's all done then, but as soon as I get home and if I know I've got work to do, I'll do it that night so then I can focus on the job part of it the rest of the week. I'd say to anyone considering an apprenticeship, no matter what environment it is, if you're female or male, if it's what you enjoy doing, then just go for it, no matter what anyone says, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your career.
One thing that makes our college stand out is our MTI campus, which delivers some of NWSLC's automotive engineering offer. This campus provides a bespoke curriculum aimed at satisfying an ever-increasing need for specialist skills in the UK automotive engineering sector. The MTI campus has a particular focus on emerging technologies, such as electrification and driverless cars, cultivating these skills necessary to operate at the cutting edge of technology. Here is a quick...
For self-service, our intuitive digital tools and smart use of data enable them to get a personalised service. Professional careers advisors will help provide users with additional advice and guidance specific to their personal circumstances. If you want any more information about the National Careers Service, please get in touch.
And is joining us today for a quick Q&A. Can you give us an overview about the engineering provision at NWSLC?
So engineering is accessible over our 3 campuses through North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College. So the campuses are situated in South Leicester, which is Wigston. We have Nuneaton, and we also have the MTI facility, which is based just off the A5 in Nuneaton at the Myra Technology Institute. So we run apprenticeships from all campuses. At the MTI, it's more automotive engineering we try to push. We also do the maintenance and repair side of things on vehicles and technical support. Lastly, we do product development and design as well, which is about research and development. We do have full-time programmes and part-time programmes covering levels 1 all the way through to level 3. We do electrical installation, we do general engineering, which gives you an overview of each area. So in each of them areas, you're going to be covering things like mechanical manufacturing, welding, fabrication and maintenance and that sort of thing.
What is the one thing that makes NWSLC stand out for students who are looking to study an engineering course?
First of all, our staff, our engineering staff, they're all experts in their own field. They're all well educated, they're fantastic, they're approachable, they're knowledgeable, and they do like to share their knowledge with students, both apprenticeships and full-time students. Our equipment also allows us to stand aside from other people as well. So at the MTI, all our resources are new. So our milling machines and lathes are hybrid technology, all brand spanking new. We've also got science equipment up there that we're trying to push and create a little bit more of as well. So engineering, this is how big it is. Engineering generated 23% of the UK's turnover in 2018. There's 5.7 million people employed within engineering, and 19% of the UK employees are in an engineering setting. So the sector is massive. It's still a growing sector as well. So we're still expecting around about 120,000 engineers to join us and technicians to join us with core engineering skills per year. So that is a massive key as to why we need people in engineering. The job roles within engineering are vast. But what we can see as well, with regards to the education side of things, that of them females that do go in and progress exceptionally well through to degree, so the first or upper second, there's 80% of females actually achieve, in comparison with 75% males. So we need to get more females into the sector without a doubt.
What kind of projects do students in engineering work on?
Some of the projects that they'll be working on within company are just vast. It could be a little in-house project where they're making and creating something. It could be something that where they're designing something within company. Anything. students could be on any kind of project on an industry placement. And there is a unit as well that we do cover as a full-time student, which is project. The main area of learning on that is understanding how to run a project. But whilst you're going through that process in college, you are able to make, create, design something.
What routes can you specialise in within engineering?
There is welding and fabrication, there's electronics, there's the electrical installation, there's maintenance. The new big thing is big data. So this is Industry 4 that we're going into now. So starting in engineering, just with them core units, you will be able to start and head towards specialising in things like that.
What are the main difference between an engineering apprenticeship and a full-time course?
So there are differences between engineering apprenticeships and full-time courses. The qualifications are virtually the same. You're still going to go through the same amount of units. You'll probably find that your apprenticeship will be over a longer duration. So you'll still get the same level of qualification. You'll still get the same detail of qualification. You will get a certificated qualification as well. You're still able to progress into university after you finish your qualifications. Again, with an apprenticeship, it may take you probably a year or 2 years longer. But the good thing about the taking 2 years longer is, and the main difference is, with an apprenticeship, you have an employer, you have a contract of employment, you get the same rights and responsibilities as you do as an employee in a place of work, and fantastic, you get salary as well, so you do start earning.
What careers can students go into after studying engineering at NWSLC?
So after studying in engineering and aiming for an advanced qualification there, so that's at level 3. So you can access, without any shadow of a doubt, a technician role within a company, a design role, so using computer-aided design within a company. It could be that you've gone through an electrical installation route. So having a level 3 advanced qualification gets you through the door within an electrical installation employer.
What advice would you give to students who are looking to study engineering?
There are loads and loads and loads of different engineering aspects that you could go. Like I say, there's in excess of 30, 40 different career paths within engineering. So my advice would be that if you've got a hobby or an interest, because you're going to be working for an awful long time, this would steer my career choice. So if you've got a hobby of making things, creating things, designing things, football, rugby, netball, any hobby that you have, put that in YouTube and put the word engineering next to it as well, and see what the hits come from that bit of research. Because without any shadow of a doubt, what you'll see and what you'll start to see on these videos is different ways in which engineering is used in everyday hobbies and interests. And start doing a bit of investigation around them to see if there's an employer close to you that looks like a good career path. Because what we can do then is map that back to job roles, we can map that back to qualifications and apprenticeships, and that'll get you started with your career.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have enjoyed learning about engineering at NWSLC. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us using the live chat feature or visit our website at www.nwslc.ac.uk.
The National Careers Service provides high-quality, free and impartial information, advice and guidance to help citizens make decisions on learning, training and work. It is available to all adults in England over the age of 13. Our universal service is primarily for citizens who need somewhere to go that can provide comprehensive careers information, advice, or guidance for themselves. Additional users of our service are people who use it to support others. This includes professional careers advisors and intermediaries, such as employers, teachers, and parents. Our service is designed to enable users to self-serve as much as possible. However, some of our users need more intensive support. For self-service, our intuitive digital tools and smart use of data enable them to get a personalised service. Professional careers advisors will help provide users with additional advice and guidance specific to their personal circumstances. If you want any more information about the National Careers Service, please get in touch.
Right at the beginning that this was the right thing to do, to be involved in competitions, because we know how important competitions are in helping to improve and learn and benchmark against the very best.
I've recently been doing CAD competition for the WorldSkills UK. I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I've just recently competed in the regional competition and qualified for the nationals in Birmingham later this year. My WorldSkills UK training integrates really nicely into my main apprenticeship programme, simply because the training that I'm doing with WorldSkills UK is it's invested in my skills that I'm later going to use in the business. So people have a lot of time for you, and they're very respectful of the fact that you need to take a little bit of time out of placement to train.
I've always been quite a competitive person, so the chance to enter a competition, I jumped at it. And like I said, from watching previous year's competitors, watching the jobs that they were making, it looked quite good.
Started up a WorldSkills UK Council as well, doing training for this year. We're using previous competitors that come and talk to us about their experiences. Going into competitions, my main feeling is more the anxiousness of having to compete. So I think speaking to previous competitors definitely helps settle any nerves that I have going into it.
It's really important for us to be involved in WorldSkills UK competitions, because we know that when our apprentices compete in that particular trade set, what they're doing is they're honing their skills, but they're also competing, and we're able to benchmark where we are against that particular standard.
It's nerve-wracking but also really exciting. I enjoy the competition side of it. I feel like we've prepared well, so yeah, we'll just be looking forward to putting those skills to use and representing the company.
Those WorldSkills UK competitions are an amazing thing to be part of. Well done to everybody that does that every year. Okay, thanks as well to NWSLC for their final session of the day. That was brilliant. Now, apologies if you had any technical issues during that, but don't worry, because all of today's sessions are available to watch again on demand on Learn Live, on the Learn Live website. So go on there, check it out, rewatch anything that really stood out to you or that you want to see again and really take on board. Guys, that is it from today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to everybody who has submitted videos. Thanks to all of the businesses that have been involved, and especially thank you to our sponsors. Let's get the sponsors up on the screen. We couldn't have done it without the hard work from all of these guys. So BAE Systems, obviously, North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, the Army, the Careers and Enterprise Company, the Royal Navy, Leonardo's, Movement to Work, the Royal Air Force, and Learn Live. It's been brilliant that these guys have supported us so much. But obviously, the purpose for all of today and all of the next couple of days coming up as well is giving you guys the tools you need to make the choices that are right for you in your careers. Today's been all about technology and engineering, but we've got loads more brilliant stuff coming up over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, we've got YouTuber Grant Hines, we've got architect and TV star Gabrielle Omar, and we've got the medical mavericks, who are also absolutely brilliant. Listen, thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everybody who tweeted in, thanks to everybody who sent emails, and thanks for everybody on the web chat. That was a brilliant tool, and it was so good to see so many of you engaging and asking some really, really important questions. It shows that we're getting through, we're making an impact, and that is what it's all about. So thanks again. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Cheers, guys. Take care.